could I trust you when you hurt me so bad? Hurt me so bad. Hurt me so bad. Why would I love you when you hurt me so bad? Hurt me so bad. Hurt me so bad. How could I trust you when you hurt me so bad? Hurt me so bad. Hurt me so bad. Why would I love you when you hurt me so bad? Hurt me so bad. Hurt me so bad.
I'm searching for some sunshine. Just need one ray through the dark skies. I gotta look for the bright side. I know we're gonna be alright. I know we're gonna be alright.
Turn off the lights and let me feel you. I don't wanna think about myself right now. Stay out all night because I want to. Wake up in the morning and I'm hollowed out. I drew the outline on the paper. Now I'm running out of space. Family at the dinner table, but I don't have a place. Where will we go? Why am I afraid to be alone? Sinking pedals, looking for the bottom. Where will we go? Cried on the phone again, I'm sorry. You don't need to think about me breaking down. Looking for guidance, but there's no advice to give. 'Cause I'm the only one who can figure it out. Where will we go? Why am I afraid to be alone? Sinking pedals, looking for the bottom. Where will we go?
We are finally back here with your HCS Open Series 4K tournament, and we need to find out who's going to be making it into the who's going to be qualifying into that April 1st and April 2nd and joining the top 12 teams. We know there's 2 teams over the winners bracket, and we have 2 teams duking it out to advance forward. Just need, what, 3 more rounds, Tim, and they make it through active. How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I'm really excited to see who the other 2 teams are that qualify. We're going to be watching No Ice versus Going Rogue right now. You see Going Rogue, seed number 4. No Ice, seed number 42. And a really cool, interesting thing about No Ice is when LVT was so gracious to give me my first chance about I think it was 2 years ago now, casting. It was Halo 5. No Ice was one of the first teams I've ever casted, so this is a little bit different for me here. Kind of some nostalgia going on right now, so we'll see which team comes out on top of this match.
Yeah, Ghoststar and VR along with Jake have been teaming together for quite some time. Dragon has been in and out of retirement when it came to Halo, and of course Alex Shock coming over with some of the Gears of War boys to compete in Halo. I really like this No Ice roster, but recently they've been underperforming week after week. We haven't seen them, break that top 24, that top 16 or top 12 during these online tournaments. They're the number 42 seed right now, but somehow they've made it this far, and they're looking to pull off the upset against Going Rogue.
Parzelli with a shock rifle in hand. They've got some presence that is No Ice on the side of A, but this push is going to come through here right off the bat. That's a great kill right there. It takes off the player on top glass. That's very important to do when you want to push through and break a setup. They do just that, and now trying to set up once again on the pipe side. The problem is 2 go down for No Ice right off the bat.
No Ice still trying to be objective efficient, trying to sneak away a couple of scrappy points with that ball, but here comes Going Rogue, breaking right through the gold side and getting them out of there as fast as possible. 3 quickly going down for No Ice. Going Rogue are the ones going Rogue, and Parzelli says, y'all know how good I am with the sniper rifle. I done showed y'all last week. Trust my shock rifle can put in work. Hold on to this ball.
I really like the idea of Envor sitting on that top A side. He's forcing the spawns onto C, which is forcing No Ice to push through long haul. They do kill Envor though now, so right now Going Rogue has to be careful of this push, and that's going to be a big LPR right there by No Ice, but Dragon's got the camo as well, so 3 go down for Going Rogue. This is the moment that they can get back this pipe's control.
Parzelli and Ghoststar VR showing off a bit of their strays, a little bit of the wiggles right there from both players, but eventually 4 down go Going Rogue, and now No Ice with that camouflage looking to get right behind enemy lines. Couple back shots onto Parzelli, has Envor to deal with as well. The first one is gonna fall, denial grenade over towards the sneaky. Anticipating what your opponents are gonna do is the first step to breaking them down. My gosh, UEG Dragon coming back from retirement, taking on the 1v2 and shredding the defenses of Going Rogue.
That's a really big 4 dead though too, because they get 4 dead within a second of each other, so those spawns are going to come out all at the same time, which is going to give them a lot of ball time. As you can see, 52 to 24, and now once again they're starting to get the slays, but unfortunately 2 go down really early, so Shock's going to be in a little bit of trouble. He goes down as well, and now you've got a little bit of a staggered situation on this No Ice roster side.
Envor was able to sneak away with that shock rifle and grapple combination. You know I love this combo. Do damage, and once you start to get pushed, just grapple right on out and play your life. Waiting for Ghoststar VR, really daring him to push over toward the cross. First couple of shots gonna make Ghoststar back down. JK flying over toward the gold side, but Envor feeding that information to Parzelli, but Parzelli not able to get the kill. Envor just barely missing onto that melee, so both players end up going down, losing pivotal fights to No Ice. And now No Ice have an opportunity. They can play this ball, but Ghoststar VR still getting overwhelmed by some god-spawning players of Going Rogue.
Yeah, they end up spawning in pipes, which is going to be very big for them, Going Rogue that is. So those 2 missed melees could have been more detrimental on the side of Going Rogue and Envor, but No Ice not really able to capitalize on them. 47 seconds and counting. A little bit of ball time being had here, and with 2 minutes remaining, this is a nice little setup you have Going Rogue, covering all angles here. The sight lines on the top of glass, and a great defense as well by Envor. That push going to be snuffed.
We're gonna drop down over to the bottom A side. Shock having no idea that he's coming up right behind him. That grenade perfectly placed, and the second one gonna put him down as well. Love the flank out of Tony two-turn, but Shock with the nades gonna stop him quickly, and once again going rogue, losing those numbers, and with this no ice should be able to get the lead. But the question is, can you hold on to? We have two members of going rogue pushing over toward the long haul side, make that 3, and Tony two-turn being a little sneaky snake.
Yeah, unfortunately, he takes a lot of damage there. He gets spotted. His legs get spotted. And because of that, he's going to go down really early. So it's up to Envor and Parzelli to try to pick up the pieces here, but they're not going to be able to. Unfortunately, though, they do. No Ice is in a little bit of trouble there. Tony two-turn gets a pipe spawn, and with Envor backing up there with his teammate, they're not going to really be able to apply that pressure. So Tony's got to play a lot slower at this point in time. Just wait for an opportunity to push in.
Oh, at this point, they're running out of time. Going rogue needs to get in there. So now it's about time to get into the pivotal battles. Win your 1v1. No Ice says you have no ice. You have to prove them wrong. Show them that you got that heart of a lion. You got that dog in you. And that's exactly what going rogue do. 4-man push. Get the ball out of No Ice's hands, but now they're just 7 seconds away. So one good kill, one good round of kills for No Ice, and they might be able to win the game. The first one gonna fall. That's gonna be Tony two-turn. No Ice want to get in there before the spawners come in. Shock able to take down Arctic. Parzelli and Envor now being left by themselves. Somehow JK's in the action, but 3 of his teammates go down, and the rotating ball makes its way over towards the seaside, and Envor finishes off JK. Big plays being made by going rogue, and I mean, their team name is No Ice. It might be the case, because that might be it. I don't think they can get back into the action.
Yeah, I don't think so. Shock is the only player in position right now. Goldstar is going to be pushing, and he's going to take 4 to the back, and there it is. Right off the bat, going rogue turned a very scary situation into a first round for them, and I have to talk about it. That was Tony two-turns play right there. He waited patiently. He knew his teammate was rotating back from long to C plat. He waits for his opportunity, creates the entry frag, ends up going down, but they get a wipe off of it. Great job by going rogue.
And if I'm No Ice, I'm feeling really frustrated. You got to win that out. You got full setup. You got the slaves you're looking for. You're seconds away from taking that game, and you allowed going rogue to steal that ball away from you. And then they still got to be on defense, but their defense, it stands tall. Like, there's so many chances for No Ice to win that round. It must be devastating, but, you know, it's move on to the next one type of mentality that they need to have. Alex Shock, like, hold on, what is it? When did he get to the tower? Hold on, just a bit of timing not working towards Alex Shock. Finally find a couple of tower players, gonna deal with Tony two-turn. Bit of a 3v3 scenario. Alex Shock still pushing over toward the A side, taking the 1v1, but eventually that was about to become a 1v2 anyways. Shock was gonna go down regardless whether he won that fight or not.
No time on the board yet for this round number 2, and see JK and Arctic on the top of your screen, on the top left of the screen. They're gonna have a little bit of a battle right now, and it looks like Arctic is gonna win that one out, which is big. Again, because of his power position on top cat, he's able to really kind of put some damage in and watch the cross. 2 dead for No Ice, make that 3. And again, some body shots and disrespect from Arctic, trying to make a statement here, maybe get into the mentals. But Goldstar makes it through the pipes, and he's gonna get 2. That's all 4 dead for going rogue.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to shoot bodies, I guess, but I mean, when you get wiped afterwards, you just trade that ball over to No Ice. Not sure that's the best time to body disrespect, but as you guys saw in the chat before the game started, they had some choice words for each other. These guys aren't the best of friends, and time heals all wounds, but sometimes it leaves scars, and as of right now, No Ice and going rogue, definitely not friends here. JK taking a lot of damage, tries to break out over toward the camouflage, not gonna happen. It looks like Parzelli taking the one against Shock. They're gonna trade out their life. Dragon and Goldstar rotating that ball and trying to get in position for the camouflage, but going rogue, finding the kills necessary. Tony two-turn with the shock rifle, Arctic down with the camouflage. This is big.
Yeah,
but you can't get away from Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon made a big call there and a big play, getting that kill on the camo player. He relieves that type of pressure. They're stuck inside a long haul here, so they're gonna have to watch multiple angles, and they decide to rotate the ball on the pipe side. Arctic is there, so they can maybe get it through cleanly. but they've got the cross players on tower to worry about. So Tony Two-Turn, his job is essentially to watch that cross, make sure no one gets over to A, which is where the spawns are going to be. And they've also got to watch this long haul cross. You see the patience there by Envor. He's not going to get the kill though, so it's up to Tony to clean it up. And again, the trades on the side of No Ice. No Ice is going to be on the favorable side of those trades, I should say. And honestly, they're doing a good job of pinching from both angles and tending to outslay this Going Rogue roster. It's just that their setups, Tony, they're easily broken.
And what's crazy to me that as No Ice were pinching from multiple different sides, they also were prioritized nading out that glass. Tony Two-Turn was feeling comfortable on that glass side with the shock rifle, but he started receiving nades from long haul, nades from whirlpool, and eventually had nowhere to go. And he became an easy kill based on that power position, which eventually just became a trap, really. Now Tony Two-Turn off his spawn, going right at Alex Shock, trying to clear out this gold side of the map. They're going to rotate that ball toward the long haul. They're able to take down what was the most important player in JK right there, leaving Dragon by himself. Tony takes the challenge, and just like that, No Ice get wiped right as the active camo's coming up.
Exactly right. The active camo is coming up. They get 2 dead. Hopefully they can, get this camo, but unfortunately No Ice gets some beautiful spawns on bottom A. That camo is going to be burnt at the end of the day, but that's a camo that does not go into Going Rogue's hands. And honestly, as they approach this tying score line here, a camo would have definitely helped on that lead.
3 down go No Ice. JK, the final player alive, and Tony Two-Turn wanted to deal with him, but does he know that the rest of No Ice spawned right behind him over towards the A side? He eventually finds out the hard way. Bit of an unfortunate play. Now 3 members of No Ice pushing and forcing himself through the tower side. Gold Star BR, the first one in the action, the first one to get the double kill, taking down 2 members of Going Rogue by himself. And now that's going to slow both players down, both teams down, 2v2. Shock running into 2 different players, does damage onto both of them. Can't quite find the kill, and Going Rogue getting into the reset. Meanwhile, No Ice still trying to find a way to get some presence on the map here.
Yeah, and you can't have presence on the map if you keep taking these 1v1s and these 1v2s. I feel like Going Rogue is doing a great job of staying together as a duo, running in 2s and being prepared for any push that happens. You're going to win a 2v1. It's just math.
Can we shout out Gold Star BR? 18 kills, 5 assists to go along with it, but 130 seconds worth of ball time right now. The man is literally doing it all at the moment. At this point, he's going to be admitting the tournament, handing out bans in the chat. My man is literally doing it all. Gold Star BR and UEG Dragon trying to have a 2-man push onto the long haul side. Luckily, Shock was able to clean up his former teammate in Envor, and No Ice are able to find that ball. But Parzelli and Tony Two-Turn are still coming. They're not locked into their setup just yet. In fact, Parzelli wins a pivotal battle against Shock. Gold Star recognizing the situation, rotates that ball, plays it over, and it looks like the rest of No Ice are looking for slays, which just aren't coming.
Yeah, 3 down for No Ice. It's going to mean a bit of ball time here, and just under 10 seconds now to go in this second round. Of course, Going Rogue do have 1 round already, so this will be the game, and it looks like it might just be 2 seconds and counting, and there it is. Going Rogue gonna win game number 1 in the series versus No Ice.
Big win in that round number 1 to steal it away from No Ice, but in that second round, I feel like the scoreboard was fairly close, but the eyeball test told me that Going Rogue was controlling that map the entire time. That second round was a lot more cleaner for Going Rogue. Again, your number 4 seed coming into this tournament. Now we're moving on to Slayer Aquarius, and I like Going Rogue as a Slayer team, but I also feel the same way about No Ice. I think No Ice have a lot of potential that hasn't been tapped into just yet. They left a lot on the table that game, so this could be a 2-0 in favor of Going Rogue, but in my experience, don't count No Ice out. Unlike their name, they do have some ice in them.
Yeah, it's just something that I just witnessed, and I talked a little bit about it, but I want to touch on it a bit more. It's just that kind of 2v1 type scenario, those 1v1s. I feel like Going Rogue is just a little bit better at making sure to, whether they're pushing as a group of 2 or they're making sure to cover angles as a group of 2. I just feel like you always have more than 1 player to deal with when you're going up against these players on Going Rogue, whereas No Ice, essentially you can really find a lot of isolated players, and in a game like Halo, you just can't have that, especially Halo Infinite. We talk about it being one of the most team-oriented Halos in the series, and you know it's a very true statement. And you can't be pushing those 1v1s. You can't be pushing those 1v2s where you're at a disadvantage. So when we did see No Ice, you know, push together and you know have that timing together, they ended up wiping, you know, going rogue. But you got to see a little bit more of that, of course, in this Slayer game. It's especially important here on Aquarius.
Well, we don't want to see them pushing alone, but we do want to see them pushing that camouflage over toward the mid-map, taking advantage of, if not your thrust, also both thrusts on the side of the map, because we know all of these players in here played a ton of Halo 5, so they definitely feel comfortable with that thrust in hands. But don't forget about things like the Needler or even the Heat Wave, which obviously the most powerful weapon on the map. There is more resources than you would think if you're on Aquarius. It's up to you to control them. It starts with the camouflage up top.
Unfortunately, Onboard does take the low ground here, but he wins the fight. That's a reversal right there, and that's a beautiful one, too. Getting a reversal from the low ground, not very easy. Onboard now, just shooting the air, looking for this camo player. A good thing with camo is, you know, as you're moving, it's a little bit easier to see you, but a little bit of a tip for any players that don't know it. If you stand still, you can pretty much just make it very difficult to find and utilize that camo to get value.
UG Dragon making his way over towards the top car side. 4 members of Going Rogue are here, so I love the fact that he slows it down, but he's gonna double right back in. It feels like the damage is coming from Gold Star VR. Has the help from JK over towards the bottom side, and it looks like Going Rogue are making a full rotation out of the utility side. They don't want to be trapped. It's a single file line through the back blue over towards the P side. Going Rogue are playing ringed around the Rosie. Could just shoot your guns.
You gotta move and shoot, man. You gotta move and shoot. Dragon. Again, another 2v1. He has his teammate there behind him. I believe that's what that player does have the Heat Wave. That's gonna be JK, but he's gonna end up going down here. It looks like, oh wow. Playing his life right there, staying alive in that situation when he's got 2 players with angles on him is crazy. And he gets the kill onto Envor as well, but the trade comes out. It's a back and forth battle here, 10-9. Marzelli with a big double. That's gonna set up top mid control, which is exactly what they want.
With that double kill, No Ice end up going 3 down, and like you said, they're gonna get that 50% map control because of it. And with active camouflage coming up, you have presence on the P and the car side. You even have Envor, who's pushing forward, putting his body in the sight line between No Ice and that camouflage. This should be an easy camo grab for Going Rogue, and that trade is what, just icing on the cake right there. Tony Two-Turn grabs camouflage, Envor is that forward player, they do enough damage, and Tony Two-Turn and Going Rogue get active camouflage. Great multitask out of Going Rogue.
Yeah, I want to mention, and Tony ends up dying here, but I still want to mention the fact that you talked about a forward player. I think it's very important with power-ups to make sure that player does push forward. You have a teammate that kind of gains that space on the map so that camo is a little bit of an easier grab. Unfortunately, they don't utilize that camo. They end up going down, but they're still in the lead by 4 kills.
Tony Two-Turn gonna give up his height position to try to chase down the one-shot shock. It's not exactly gonna work out for him, and now there's multiple members of No Ice that might be able to get angles onto Tony Two-Turn, so having to play this real carefully. Every life really matters, especially when Ghost Star gets the first kill onto Parzelli. Tony Two-Turn trying to match that. Love the fact that Arctic has his back. Gold Star with the flank, gonna get shredded. UEG drag along with JK now pushing toward the utility side, trying to get those follow-up kills, but it's not gonna happen. Parzelli's there, Arctic is there. No Ice are playing for these one-shots. They're trying to make sure that they don't live on the map, but going rogue, they have a really good answer. But No Ice, they got Shock. And that's all you need. Who needs Ice when you got that dog in you? Alex Shock now gonna throw the shot grenade, gets himself an overkill, is gonna continue to punish Going Rogue. I was just about to compliment how Going Rogue played that, and then Alex Shock drops the overkill to absolutely shut them down.
Yeah, and Shock was, I believe, 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 before that overkill, and you're gonna know that overkill is going to give him momentum in this game. And now almost a tie score, 22-23. I want to stay on board with Shock here and see how that overkill brings confidence to his game.
Alex Shock I like to say my gameplay kind of mimics Alex Shock a little bit, you know, being sneaky, putting down massive damage, but also being a very tough kill, slipping in and out of situations, you know, making the enemy team have to focus on you while the rest of your team gets better positioning, ultimately better shots, and ultimately the kills while they're still looking for you, you know. Players have been making their careers off of like the pistols of the wall. Alex Shock definitely having a play style that reminds me of that. Damage onto Envor. That nade is gonna kill off Gold Star right there. So what could have been a really good play for No Ice, that stray grenade stops them right in their tracks. A 4-kill lead for Going Rogue.
Yeah, No Ice, you know, they end up kind of clawing their way back here, but now starting to lose the grip once again, and it's again caught out. Isolated players like that. Shock is there with him, and he gets the trade, but those shock grenades are so deadly. They melt him. They go in for another kill on a JK, and now 33-26. This game is slipping out of No Ice's hands.
Gold Star does answer back with a big double kill, down to 1 shot. Gold Star goes as he stays alive here. The final 2 members can't get a sightline on Gold Star as he's popping shots at multiple different targets. Finally, Envor is able to shut him down. Shock winning his 1v1 against Arctic. It looks like JK wants to go after Tony 2-turn, and Tony making him pay for not having that ice. A 6-kill lead now quickly approaching the end game. Something needs to change here for No Ice. They don't want to fall 0-2 in the series.
Yeah, I just feel like their timing is a bit off. No Ice's timing is a bit off in this game. I feel like they're pushing his 2 now, which is great to see, but unfortunately one is pushing and then the other one follows a little bit too far behind, and what that causes is just 2 1v1 situations where I think Going Rogue is really showcasing their talent, being able to win most of those. And you see right there, only 3 kills now is the lead for Going Rogue. So No Ice is still in this game, but they've got to make sure to capitalize on this camo up top center, and JK is in a position to do that.
Yeah, we've seen some huge individual like double kills come out, like Gold Star, BR, Shock, and even JK that are keeping them within it. And now it's the 2-kill game, making a 1-kill after Dragon able to take down Parzelli. You see Dragon continuing to apply pressure here. The final player gonna fall. That's gonna be Tony 2-turn. And now we're tied up at 39 apiece. Now it's anybody's game, and No Ice are the ones getting really aggressive while Going Rogue looking a little content, staying towards their side of the base. What is gonna work? Is it the defensive Going Rogue, or is it the offensive No Ice?
Well, we're about to see, because No Ice is going in for the offense. They get the first kill. Now up by 2 here. They're pushing in even more aggressively. Great job. I believe that was Gold Star who stayed alive in that situation. Shock goes for the P2 control, gets his own kill, maintaining that top control, and look at that. He definitely plays just that great support role. He's able to push shots into everybody. JK gets another kill. 45-42. No Ice start to turn up.
Sometimes you have to die in order to make sure your opponents go 3 down. Shock realizes that and does so much damage onto multiple players, and the rest of his team now playing through it. Alex Shock right off the spawn, able to take down Envor. Now it's a 47-44 game. Parzelli up high on the car side, has no idea the flank is coming in, somehow able to play his life despite being 1 shot, and it looks like No Ice are gonna allow it to happen. JK chases him down, but by that point, Parzelli already has his shield, so a bit of a mistake there. They don't want to throw this game away. Be careful, No Ice. Don't get sloppy here.
Yeah, Parzelli gets a big cleanup right there, and you see a lot of No Ice on the bottom of the map. 49-48. No Ice only need 1 more kill here. They've got the shock grenades. You see the pushes coming in right now, Tony.
49-48. Just 1 more kill needed for No Ice. See JK and UEG Dragon working in tandem, but you gotta be careful. Those grenades are powerful here at Halo Infinite. Gold Star tries to chuck one to get a cleanup. Shock, excuse me, Parzelli is a bit isolated here. Gold Star's cutting off his fridge side angle. The other 2 members of No Ice don't know the situation like we do. They could have pushed that, and they could have caught Parzelli by himself, but they were worried that there might have been multiple players. Luckily, Alex Shock feeding information to his team saying, hey, slow it down. I'm going to get the backspack that ends this game. Going Rogue know that he has it. JK is pinging, saying this is where you need to push. Shock is trying to get into the action a bit slow and steady. All 4 members of Going Rogue are in the fringe side. Shock is approaching his target, and he's going to get the easy melee kill onto Envor. That's a 50-48. No Ice taking that game, and if Going Rogue don't be careful, forget about Going Rogue, they're going to be going home.
I am very just curious what happened in the comms there for going rogue. Envor gets caught in the back here. Watch this, right? They all kind of rotate away and they go into the yellow base, but Envor's left behind. If I'm going rogue here, I'm coming back and I'm nading that P1 side. I'm not allowing that Camel player to even make a push there. I guarantee one of them had a couple nades. They just kind of run away, leave Envor in the fridge there, and he ends up dying because of it. You can't do that with the camo on the field. Look at this. So they push in, the nade backs Shock off. Great job by not walking into that, but then they just walk away. One player comes back, I think it's Tony, but Envor is just all but dead. He's trying to shoot for his life here, trying to find this camo player.
It's a really weird situation. Like I can see what going rogue are trying to do. Like we've seen Ryan do it in the past. We've seen it being popular back in previous Halos. We have to play through your base off of spawn to play over toward the strong side of the map. At the end of the day, it sounds like going rogue just didn't want to get trapped in any situation, whether it's utility or fridge. So they were perfectly capable of, or perfectly comfortable rotating as a unit through one side, through the base, and say, hey, look, if you're gonna get aggressive on us, cool, we're gonna straight line you. All four of us. It looks like Envor just might have got left behind a little bit onto the fridge side, and eventually Alex Shock just happened to be there to take him out. You know, it's unfortunate. I'm sure there's probably a million different ways that they could have been played, but either way, it's no Weiss that come out with the win on that one, and we have a tied series here, Tim.
Gotta love that. A tie series is exactly what we want going into game number 3. We're gonna hop on board with Envor here. He does have the heat wave, but gives it up a little bit early. And because of that, it looks like C may be taken, but oh my goodness, that stick is gonna prevent that from happening. So some points on the board for going rogue. They're gonna go for this OS as well. They've got control of the tower side.
Double cap early on here for going rogue, but looks like no ice are going to be able to take over that alpha side here. So double cap back in favor of no ice. Arctic trying to be that flanking player onto the pillars, ends up being spotted and dealt with. Envor with the heat wave and overshield, going to be enough to take down one player. It looks like multiple are coming. The nades into the shroud, trying to deny access from the pillars angle. That's gonna be enough to take away Bravo. Going rogue, working on alpha as well. That's a trip cap there, and it looks like Envor might be willing to defend the C side.
Yeah, it's a really aggressive push here. Oh my goodness, yeah, Tony, I thought he was gonna miss that, but he ends up cleaning up that kill, and he stays alive on the top tower as well. So they get C. They've got a little bit of control of this side of the map. But Parzelli goes down early, so this kind of opens things up just a bit here. He's going to be on the spawn on that B side, I believe, and they do have presence on top tower, so it's really up to Envor to kind of make sure that he's watching both angles. He's watching the push from big door, but also watching the push from that brute ramp as well.
Arctic already ahead of him onto the dummy side. Envor looking to get involved, and that repo slows him down, pins him against the wall, and allows him to finish off that kill with the heat wave. Sadly, the rest of going rogue aren't really able to pick up there. No ice able to put them 3 down, holding onto this double cap. Shock now looking to make plays over towards the bottom mid side. He knows that going rogue has B. He knows they're pushing over towards C. It looks like he wants to make a play for this.
Oh, and he tries to make a play, but it's a solo play. And again, I've talked about it before. No Ice, not really on the same page sometimes. I mean, that push maybe causes some pressure towards C, but at what cost, right? You've still got to completely stop that C push, that nest bridge push. And to do that, you've got to get through a lot of people. But Shock actually gets a spawn off of that death. And he gets a triple as well. And now he's opened up the map, going for the over, but he's going to miss the melee. Parzelli is going to win that one out. Unfortunate for Shock, but he does do the damage necessary. And potentially that'll allow No Ice to get that B hill.
Alex Shock got the triple kill and got a little too antsy right there. The melee came just a bit early, almost had himself an overkill, but either way, it's 8-4 right now, and larger the reason why No Ice are still in, and No Ice now quickly moving in for the trip cap over toward the C side. Tony two-turn. Thought he was going to be able to get his hands on that sniper rifle. Sadly, it's not going to happen. Now he finds himself staring down a 1v3 at the moment, but with the heat wave feels comfortable. Takes down Envor, even puts the damage onto Tony. Two-turn, too quickly going down for No Ice. Big plays being made by Tony.
Yeah, great use of that peak shot, especially with the heat wave. It's a very difficult weapon, at least for me, to hit at a long range like that. And he does a great job from Pillar, staying alive, putting that damage in. 2 down right now for going rogue. And honestly, Tony's got to play some defense here from this nest push. He's got to win this 1v1, but JK comes out on top of that one. 2 dead for going rogue once again, and that'll be A and B going on the side of No Ice.
Once again, No Ice getting real scrappy with it. With the moment that going rogue play after one base, they're going to simply out-rotate them, and they're always have the triple cap in mind. So if Slay's going in favor of No Ice, I have a feeling going to push the C side, but Overshield being handled here by UEG and Shock. Shock, the first one to go down, and that Shroud is going to allow going rogue to sneak away with that Overshield. They may have the double cap for now. There's No Ice, but that Overshield might be exactly what they need. But a Gold Star BR and a sniper rifle is a deadly combination as he hits body shot after body shot. Going rogue got Overshield and still with 4 down. No Ice coming in clutch.
Yeah, I was going to call out Gold Star for not going in the window there to watch Overshield as it come up, but he just shot me down. I have nothing to say. Absolute beautiful play by Gold Star holding this B side, and because of that, they're going to continue to hold B, now going for C, flipping the map. The spawns from going rogue are going to be on A, so some more defense needed here, but Arctic gets that double kill, going for the triple. The assist comes out, and that's going to be flipped now. 4 dead for No Ice.
There's a big wipes coming out of going rogue right there. They're going to take advantage of that, immediately pushing over to where the trip cap onto the C side. No Ice forced to slow things down, make sure they secure A. If they send only 1 or 2, they can get overwhelmed, so they have to really slow things down, and now they have to break off. They're going to break off in 2s. It looks like 2 members going over towards this Hudson C side. Looks like 2 members also addressing the sandbags in the B side. But what's important is getting these kills. That's what they need, Tim. Can they get them?
We're going to have to see. That player on Nest is going to be a big problem here. Shock ends up staying alive, which is really huge in this situation because they get A and C, but they only get A and C momentarily. The idea is to rotate and get control of B, but you see JK deciding to push through the OS that's about to come up in about 20 seconds. He gets control of A here. This OS could be free due to the fact that they already have C, but unfortunately he goes down, and so do 2 of his other teammates. That's going to be 3 dead, now 2 dead for No Ice, and going rogue. With that OS coming up in 5 seconds, they're going to look to push their advantage.
Yeah, we're starting to see multiple rounds of Slay start to go in favor of going rogue, where No Ice needs to answer back, and it's just not happening. A perfect kill out of Parzelli, but not able to get away with that Overshield. Tony Tuchuk gonna fly in, but it looks like he trades out his life there, so although Envor is able to take away Charlie, what has happened with that Overshield? It's sitting out in no man's land. 2 members of No Ice clearing out the B side, a momentary trip cap for going rogue, and I'll be honest, I still don't know what happened with Overshield.
I honestly don't know either. The last time that any team got it, it got melted.
There it is.
There it is. Parzelli's got it in his hands. A 2 cap on the board for No Ice. Parzelli's gonna look to break this wall of defense, and he's got his teammates behind him on Nest Bridge and a player as well on that pillar side. And they get 2 kills, which is pretty much all that's necessary, unless you got a Shock with a repulsor, and then you got to worry about continually getting capped on. That's going to be A and B due to Shock's repulsor there, continually held by this No Ice roster.
And this is why I keep telling y'all we need grapple starts. They knocked off the Nabi grapple right back on. Infinite grapple starts. That would change Halo Infinite forever. UEG Dragon with the sniper rifle. Clearly he knows what to do with it. Body shot onto Parzelli. Able to find the angle with the VR to take him out. Wants to work on Envor, but Tony comes in on the flank, and once again an unfortunate situation where No Ice find himself not able to watch every angle on the map, and going rogue are able to come at from multiple angles. So find the slays they're looking for. No Ice end up going 3 down. The double cap is still locked in here for going rogue. No Ice, they need to make a play.
Yeah, it's just the efficiency that I'm seeing, right? It's what No Ice is doing on their slays, and it's what going rogue does when they get slays. Going rogue just seems to be very good at this objective efficiency, making sure to be in a position like they are right now to get this overshield. There goes the shroud screen a little bit early, though. You got to be careful here. Jumps out to get vision. That was actually a really good play. Get some vision on that top grenade, that top sandbag side, and utilize that to make a play there. But oh my goodness gracious! Shock! What an incredible play there. The OS is gone, all but gone. And because of that, they're gonna get C, but they've still got a lot of work to do. These spawns are coming out in the big door. They've got to slay once again.
Outside. Parzelli's screen was looking very me-esque out there. I don't know, man. That reticle bouncing left, right, up, down, and it looking like he was putting in a GTA cheat code or something. I don't even know. 219 to 147 lead for Going Rogue. No Ice looking to respond, having the BC set up right now. No Ice looking good, but they need to do exactly what Going Rogue did to them. Get multiple rounds of slays. Play through your defense is what No Ice really need to do right now.
Yeah, they're starting to control those power weapons as well. The question is the utilization of them, and we see one kill there, but Dragon ends up falling. That heat wave will stay on that pillar side. Goldstar BR is gonna have to fight off two people at the same time. He backs off Envor, but Envor very intelligently plays his life. He knows he's got help from Arctic, and they clean up that kill. And because of that, they're gonna obtain B once again and continue to get points on the board. 225 and counting.
It felt like it was only a moment of time, it was inevitable that Going Rogue would get the slays they need and get control back once again. Even when things are working in No Ice's favor, I don't feel comfortable with their setups. When Going Rogue are locked in, it's really hard for them to lose that perimeter gunfight. It's really hard for No Ice to get that first kill in order to play through it. As right now, Going Rogue just looked a lot more clean, a lot more polished here on Strongholds, and it's shown with the scoreboard. They're able to side with the There's No Ice. They find the 3 or 4 down they were looking for. At this point, Going Rogue literally only need 1 round of slays in order to come out on top here. Goldstar BR understands that. It looks like he's going to secure the overshow for No Ice. No Ice will literally have to play perfect Halo at this point. Arctic the first one to go down out in no man's land. Envor with the tower side control trying to shred the overshow, but once again, Going Rogue end up going 3 down, leaving Envor on the island here by himself.
Yeah, I've seen this story before. You cannot count this map and game type combination out until you see the end scoreboard here. You can see right there, No Ice starting to come together. Their setup has been broken so very often. I talked about that on Oddball Recharge. I mean, I just feel like their setups are weak, and you kind of, alluded to that as well in your previous statement. I think we're seeing a potential setup right here, but B and C are being capped. It's gonna be up to Goldstar right now, but Envor with a huge kill, and now only 2 points needed for this Going Rogue roster.
But this is where No Ice usually thrives, is when it gets scrappy like that, but nobody able to slide into that hill. They got the slay they were looking for. They had the setup. They even were able to move in for a trip cap. Everything was working for No Ice, and then it just falls apart. It just crumbles in front of their very eyes. Tim, I can't believe what I just saw. That was tough, man.
It's unfortunate, and it's a big blow, right? I feel like you had that shroud screen, and unfortunately it was utilized. I believe it was Dragon. It was utilized to stay alive, and instead, if maybe he timed his push maybe a tad bit better in this situation, I think he got really anxious, wanted to make sure to stop that B cap, which is understandable as C is being capped as well. But that shroud screen being utilized in that situation instead is just really rough. And then you see 2 players from No Ice at top center. They're not really able to do anything. They slide in late, and that's it. It's just maybe a communication issue. I'm not too sure. Maybe they came off spawn a little bit later than expected, but they weren't able to get there in time, weren't able to put the damage in. And that is it. I think Envor also was able to use that shroud screen to stay alive inside of B, which is also a big detriment. That shroud screen is a risk, it's high risk, high reward type factor, and it's so interesting to see it used in competitive play.
What I want to know is what happened before then, though. Like I feel like you notice that No Ice pushed in for the trip cap,
right?
And then they go 2 down. Like if you're confident enough to push in for the trip cap, how did they go 2 down? How do Going Rogue find themselves taking B and C at the same time? I feel like when you're confident enough to go in for the trip cap, it means that to me it means that you're comfortable. To me, it means that everything is working in your favor. If not, maybe they need to play a more defensive role and just stay alive. I feel like that game should have been won. But I'm confused on how we got to the point where trip cap turns to 2 down, turns to Going Rogue taking 2 base at the same time, turns into you desperating towards the end game. That's Halo, baby.
It is. There you go. That's the best way to say it. It's Halo. But yeah, I mean, it's just, one step out of position, a couple shots you take. I mean, people I can't say people don't really understand. There are people that understand, but you have to understand that, you know, even just taking damage is detrimental. Like, you know, if they got that triple cap, but maybe they took too much damage from the players that they ended up, you know, killing at the very end, and then those first kills spawn up, I mean, you're screwed, right? Because they have knowledge of exactly where you are. They can clean up those kills, and maybe that's where that 2 dead came from. So it's really weird. It's interesting for No Ice, right? They're obviously down in the series, but you know, it's only one game, and they brought that back. We were within 6 seconds of No Ice bringing that back and winning that game. So, you know, what do we do here? You know, where's the mental at going into this game? Where are they feeling? How are they feeling in terms of confidence, etc.? We'll have to find out right now.
I mean, you definitely are right that it is only one game and you got to take it one game at a time, but it was a swing game 3. The series is tied up, so I think it was an important one. And now you put yourself in a situation where you have to mini reverse sweep. Going Rogue one game away from ultimately sending you home right now. That 2 seconds worth of hill time might end up biting you in the butt, might end up literally costing you making it into the 4K event. You know,
yeah, true.
Well, you know, we'll see what happens. No Ice, number 42 seed, looking to pull off the upset against Going Rogue. They're still 100% in it. As I say that, they do end up going 3 down. Going Rogue, making sure they secured their kills before even stepping foot in that hill.
They got into the game pretty quickly there. I was, you know, I'm a big fan of the, you know, the reset of the mental, just kind of sitting and just, you know, just allowing yourself to just, you know, reset mentally, just get into the next game. But this is it, like you said. They've got to perform here. No excuses. It doesn't matter. Maybe a reset's not even needed. We've seen that before, but no excuses. Go into this next game. You're obviously capable. You've taken a game off this roster. You can tie this series up right now, but you've got to act right now. That hill, halfway capped for Going Rogue. And No Ice looking to answer back.
I love how confident Gold Star BR was in his shot, that he's willing to take that BR gunfight in the shroud. You ain't got no aim assist. So at that point, you know, it's mano a mano right there, and he was still hitting his shots as if he had it. So well played by Gold Star BR. Eventually he is going to be taken down because Envor doesn't like anybody else to have nice things. Gets himself a double kill, gets the assist onto the third, and Envor says, if you're not talking about me, I don't know what you're talking about. Going Rogue, take control of the B Street.
Envor, a very passionate player, to say the least, along with Tony Two-Turn. A lot of passion on one squad right here. It can be good or bad depending on what situation they're in, but right now they're in the situation of 3 down. With JK having these rockets in hand, he can play a lot of defense on this first hill, and he's gonna do just that, walking towards this C spawn, but he's got to be careful to utilize these rockets, and that first one's gonna miss. It does some damage, but the damage is not cleaned up.
Yeah, you definitely want to go 1 for 1 with these rockets, and sadly, all he does is make the player one shot, not able to follow up with that kill. In fact, it looks like Shock follows up with a kill of his own, but a player from Going Rogue not able to stay in the lobby, so a bit of technical difficulties. We'll get that fixed right up for us because we have a very important matchup again, guys. We're trying to find out who are going to be your top 4 teams that make it into that to April 1st, make it into the April 2nd. We know there were 12 teams that made it, but we need a perfect bracket up on the upper side. I don't know if you were watching earlier, because I know we did go offline for a bit, but there were a couple teams that made it through. One of them being Mags Up, led by the likes of Ace, led by the likes of Kratos, joining them as Diagram and Avenue. But a not so familiar face in Mickey made it through as well.
Interesting.
And I've been talking about Mickey on my pre-shows multiple times. Multiple times they've made it into these open 2K events, and they'd be 1 round away from making it into the top 12. Every single time, just barely missing it out. And this time was their time to make it in through the upper bracket. So they're gonna have an amazing seed. It's M305, Yaxin. We have MTV Grand, I'm still learning a little bit about him, and then Tricky, 4 very hungry amateur players that made it through over toward the upper side, and now we're trying to find out who are going to be the 2 teams that join them here in the lower bracket. We only have a few rounds left. Both Going Rogue and No Ice have made it quite far here in the tournament, but now it's time for them to close, and now it's time to move in because it's going to get harder from here on out.
And I love that, right? I'm a big fan of seeing these, you know, lesser known teams like Mickey coming through and just making a statement and showcasing that this game is ever evolving. The meta is always changing, and you know, these players have, you know, adapted to of course, the new meta. There's been a lot of changes recently with the ammo and of course the shroud screen being added, etc. You know, it's just really cool to see, you know, teams like this come through and just like you said, they've been placing, you know, within the top 12, just making a statement. And you know, it's really cool to see them do all this grinding online, and then, you know, interesting to see what happens when they go to the LAN, and if they're able to kind of bring that same energy and that same skill and prowess at the LAN.
And what I'm really happy about this 4K event here is that, you know, I got the chance to sit down with Tashi and talk to him about this season's online events, you know, and you know, one of the bigger complaints that we had last year was there was a lot of these open events that would happen, and the pros just wouldn't show up. You know, the point, there was not enough stakes on the line in order to get the professional teams like the optics and the phases to show up during the open events, especially later on within the season, where, you know, start maybe early on we had some, but, you know, as the season progressed, we saw less and less teams open because the stakes just weren't high enough. Now with this 4K in points and the way that the points are distributed, we had like a 75% fall off after Charlotte. And I don't want to say that online points are more important than LAN, but they're definitely more relevant than they were in season 1. So next week, you're going to see Optic. You're going to see FaZe. You're going to see Essence. You're going to see all of the top 12 teams and joined by the next 4 teams that join them in. And actually means something now, as opposed to last season where arguably you can still get a great seeding or the best seeding possible without competing during these online events. So I'm really happy to see these top teams competing again. I can't wait until April 1st, but I guess before then we got to go through here and a bit of chat in the chat right now.
Look at
Isn't that crazy? This was actually before the series even started, actually.
Okay.
But then I'm assuming fresh reset, even though we had Stalker, Bulldog, Heatwave, Snipe, and the Rockets.
That's what
and
I'm saying.
Like, just cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Clearly he's trying to say something.
Right.
And Oliver's like, yeah, I agree. I'm cool.
That is the pure definition of passive aggressive right there. Yeah, we had everything on the map to win the game, but yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll reset full. Fine, no big deal. I love it. You gotta love it. The drama making this match even more interesting. We're gonna see who's gonna come out on top of this one. Going Rogue is up 2-1 in the series. No Ice looking to answer back, and Shock being at the forefront of that one. I believe it's gonna be a full reset, as the players have agreed to, and we're gonna see if the opening strats change a bit here, Tony.
These two teams keep chirping like that. They're gonna be on the next HCS weekly report. I'm gonna have to make a video about this or something. I'm just saying, clearly there's a bit of bad blood between these rosters, and like I said before, eventually, weeks go by, tournaments go by, these two are gonna be fine. But I say it all the time: time heals wounds, but they still leave scars. So the next time these two teams go at it, it's gonna be in the back of the mind, like, oh, remember when this guy was tripping? Remember when we lost to this team early on after they were talking all the trash when they were shooting bodies? I promise you that sits in the back of your mind as a competitor, even as a ranked player like myself. I don't even compete anymore, but it even sits on the back of my time. Like, that guy shot my body last week. I'm gonna have to try extra hard on this one.
That guy shot my body 5 days, 6 hours, and 21 seconds ago. It's over for him. Here we go. 2-1, the lead for Going Rogue. No Ice gets some initial hill time here, and Stalker in the hands of Dragon, I believe that was. I think it was Gold Star, but regardless, the Stalker is now lost, so a power weapon potentially in the hands of this Going Rogue roster, and they get full control of that side, and they know exactly where the spawns are happening. But let's see if Shock can answer back with his Bulldog, and he does. He gets 1 kill on the board.
And now Shock can immediately take height over toward the heaven side. I've seen his Twitter. He ain't going to heaven. But Bulldog in hand, gonna ban the red side. Easy shots onto Arctic, onto the sea, and it looks like No Ice getting into their full man setup. Going Rogue having to break it with the man down, and Shock hiding with this Bulldog. When he pops out, he's gonna be able to do so much damage.
It's all about this next push right here, but all the while, No Ice Lots of time on the board. Finally contested. Again, that shroud screen used in an offensive way, which is something we're seeing very often. But Goldstar plays a very interesting angle right here. The thing that he doesn't know is that there's 2 members there. They do get 2 kills, so now a 2v2. But again, going rogue, utilizing this time in the 2v2 to bring this hill to halfway.
Shots out of Barzilli is going to be able to take down 2 members of No Ice, Dragon and JK, and the Fallen Gear, and going rogue very close to stealing away this hill, and then maybe playing for Rockets at the same time. But as one player leaves the hill, Tony Tuchar still gets pressed by Shock, not able to dip his toes within the hill. So eventually Rockets find the hands of Envor. Envor ends up getting backsmacked. Barzilli now putting the damage onto Shock across map, as going rogue ends up going 3 down. No Ice should been able to steal those rockets.
Yes, unfortunately though, Shock gets a big kill there. I like the idea of him challenging based off the communication that one player was one shot, but unfortunately he challenges back, knowing that the spawns are on A. He goes down pretty early here, but what that's going to do is that's going to cause Barzilli to get these rockets and get a kill, and this is the setup broken as 2 go down for No Ice, but a big win by Dragon is going to allow them to potentially hold this for a little while longer while his teammates come off spawn.
About 25% of this hill already taken here by No Ice, Envor and going rogue, getting their first few seconds in. And once again, No Ice dying staggeringly right there, but a big double team over towards the red room. They beat that player up. They jumped them over toward the red room as No Ice get the first kill they were looking for, and now they want to take advantage of the 4v3, so they're getting aggressive. They're grinding forward. Arctic up high with the Stalker rifle, was able to take down Dragon. Now does the same thing to Shock as well. So that's going to be a double kill. 4 down go No Ice, and going rogue going to get some easy hill time because of it.
Easy hill time and an easy couple of power weapons as well in the hands of Arctic. He's going to be able to utilize these though. Oh no. Some betrayals going on. I'm guessing someone crashed once again, but that is unfortunate, especially with Arctic. You know, we had Shock talking about the fact that he had all the weapons, but now Arctic had all the weapons and potentially would have capped that hill. But I would assume we're going to go to 1 hill up on that going rogue side. We'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, we saw the big double kill with that Stalker rifle out of Arctic right there over toward the top C side, and then I believe he even had the shotgun as well. At least some of them going rogue was able to have the shotgun. So yeah, a lot of utility in the hands of going rogue right there. You're seeing it right here. So this was the second kill onto Alex Shock, despite being one shot. You're seeing the strength of that Stalker rifle, and then you see the Bulldog in the back pocket. You see there was a spawning player in Dragon over towards red. Barzilli and Envor getting a bit too aggressive there, breaking off those PD spawns. I feel like you have to kind of let them spawn PD, then push up and be aggressive.
Right.
I feel like red room spawn, you know, spawn closer toward the hill, and it kind of works in favor of No Ice just a little bit.
Absolutely it does, and that's a big thing about Halo, and it's what makes it so beautiful. Is just like I said before in a previous series, you know, one step in the wrong direction, you've got this big sphere around your player as you move, and if that sphere touches one of the spawns, you essentially change everything. And right there you saw it, like Tony just mentioned, like you mentioned, Tony, they spawned red room because they were just outside of that sphere, or I'm sorry, just inside the sphere of the PD spawn, and that was it. I mean, that could have really turned the game around in terms of No Ice. They could have potentially pushed on to Arctic, who was alone on C, and then potentially took in the hill, but we're not going to see that. We're not going to see it happen. We'll see what they say in the chat here. They will probably come up with a solution. We'll be able to see it live, maybe along with some trash talk.
Yeah, I'm so happy I'm not an admin and whatnot to try to come up with rulings. I feel like not everything is so black and white when it comes to a game after technical difficulties happen. Like they said, like Shock said, you know, we had, you know, rockets, we had Bulldog, we had Stalker rifle. Like, how do you quantify that? Do you just give them a free hill? Like it's not in the rule, but you can't really do this. I feel like it's always so tough because, like, you know, we try to make these situations black and white, but every situation is a gray area. Like, you know, there's so many variables to the situation that sometimes technical difficulties can really help a team more than it can hurt them. So I mean, either way, the facts are the facts. Going rogue are 2-1 here in the series. They are one game away from taking out No Ice and moving forward within the bracket, which, by the way, has been so tough.
Yeah, I was in, I believe, I think I was watching the LVT stream, or maybe I was in Envoy's stream earlier, and I heard him talking about how his teammates are always crashing and they need to fix this. It's ridiculous. And it kind of comes with the updates, like you being able to just optimize as best you can. Like for me, I don't crash. I crash hardly ever on my setup, and it's just because, you know, I've looked up the settings, the right settings to use, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, it's a thing that's going to happen regardless, but trying to minimize those is very, very important, especially after every update. But regardless, we'll get No Ice back in the lobby. I would assume that Going Rogue do have one hill on the board, which would mean we go to, you know, they would only need 3, but we'll see what happens there. And that first hill, Tony, was so very close. Shock was literally like one step away from contesting that and you know, getting that kill. But I believe it was Gold Star who was just playing his life so well on those pillars. And again, one tiny little play changes everything.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure that your settings are on point. I went through below my resolution scale, like you had recommended. I stopped crashing immediately. So really good tips for the people at home. Hey, you know, optimize those settings and you should be good. But I want to talk about these matchups while we have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
And I feel like, in addition to obviously the matchup you're seeing on screen, Going Rogue versus No Ice, in the same exact position is Leviathan and Team Meta proper, not Team Meta Elite. Team Meta Elite already made it through. So you have Leviathan, Sylvanic, Bid Teachers, Despiteful, and Facty going up against Wily Coyote, Game Boy, I believe it's Aish, I believe it is, and Jukes. Okay. They're in the same position as the Ultra as Going Rogue and No Ice, and then around ahead of them is Lies featuring Gunplexion, Kid Nasty, Evan, I believe he's going by now,
yeah.
And Stan Paradigm. They're going up against Stallions, who have been playing week after week with the same roster of leading this Mo, rowing the boat, and these, like, they're actually a round ahead of us right now, so just closer to making it to those final rounds. Once we get over to once you complete round 10, if you're still standing, you're going forward into the top 12, or excuse me, the top 16 on April 1st and April 2nd.
You know what's crazy is just how competitive these open bracket teams are in this game. You know, as the seasons go on, as the years go on, as this game has been released over a year ago now, it's just incredible to me that the games are getting more and more competitive, and these teams and these players individually are getting better and better at adapting and being able to use these weapons in the sandbox. But as I say that, it's shut up, Tim. It's time right now. No Ice is 4 dead. Parzelli in the hill with the rockets, a prime position, but he's got to be careful of that V stairs.
Yeah, that's a really early 4 down for No Ice, giving Going Rogue the advantage, and Going Rogue getting super early time, getting the rockets in hand, and Envoy just ratting it out while No Ice are dealing or focused on the B side. Envoy gets an off angle, ends up getting a double kill because of it. The nades are gonna net him a triple kill onto Shock, and if JK doesn't be careful, that's gonna be another back-to-back 4 down Envoy, shutting No Ice down.
Man, it's unfortunate, right? You're going through these resets, you tend to get a little bit mentally checked, and you know, No Ice definitely looks a little checked in this game thus far. They've got to kind of pick it up, put the pieces together here. The first piece is going to be Tony, but Goldstar pushing in alone here. He's got to get some help. Tony's going to smell the blood in the water. Goes for that kill. That's going to be beautiful. Some support comes on as well to JK, and he gets a double. And now forcing the spawns at Cafe. This hill is all but Going Rogues. They're going to need a massive break here, and they're going to need it quick.
That help was just too little, too late, and Tony is too good. Is Tony too turn with that double kill, taking down both JK and Goldstar BR, and that first hill gonna go in favor of Going Rogue. Well played. Goldstar dropping the drop while trying to make a bit of an outplay there, wasn't able to back down through it, so No Ice end up getting put 3 down once again. In 10 seconds, rockets are coming up. That's enough time for No Ice to come in and gain some real estate on the map, but they still need these kills, and they also need to get Envoy and Going Rogue out of the hill as well.
I like the play by Arctic there, though, not to kind of wait bottom center for rockets. Instead, he knows that the spawns are going to come out on Cafe. They're going to rotate to front A, so he backs up, goes back for the rockets, ends up getting them anyway, and 2 down for No Ice. Going Rogue once again have control, but JK playing a sneaky role with this shroud screen, but he's going to wake up to 2 players in front of him. What do? Your teammate is on commando and not getting there quick enough. and Going Rogue are on the edge of capping this next hill once again, and they only need 3 hills right now. This is a reset. They're up by 1 hill, so they only need 3 hills, whereas No Ice needs 4. And speaking of 4, No Ice is 4 dead.
We talk about some of the best teams in the league being able to multitask, you know, addressing rockets and baiting that out while also taking hill time at the same time. That's what you really saw from Going Rogue right there. You know, you saw them in the hill that entire time, and while No Ice were just fresh off a spawn fighting for those rockets, that was just almost a free hill for Going Rogue. They're about a split second away from getting it. So well played by Going Rogue. Not done just yet, but I wonder if No Ice is going to punt it, and oh, there it is right there.
Going Rogue, 1 more cap is all they need as they're up by 1. It's up to Goldstar to kind of hold that top A right now. JK has to come forward. Goldstar dies, so JK has to come forward, and what that does is it pulls off the resource from that heaven side, and now it's just ripped apart. But they get 3 kills on the Going Rogue side. That is No Ice, so this next kill onto Tony could solidify things, but Shock cannot clean it up, and he gets taken out as well. The Shroud screen is used. Tony playing on a different level right now,
doing everything he can to stay alive here in the Shroud, and he ends up doing so, and now right back to work. Can't quite win the fisticuffs battle against Goldstar Melee right there over toward the A side, but it looks like Going Rogue are still moving in position. They're still getting aggressive. It's Going Rogue right now that are the ones setting the pace here in the game, and No Ice are looking for answers right now, and
yeah,
sadly they're just not finding it.
Yeah, they're just staggering a lot. It comes down to, you know, if what you think is clean Halo is not working out and it's just being snuffed at every turn, you tend to just kind of play that scrappy play style. You kind of, you know, play a little bit robotic, and I feel like that's what we're seeing out of No Ice. I know they're capable of so much more. It doesn't mean that this game's over, but it's very close to being over because Going Rogue are halfway through completing this very final hill in this game and potentially going 3-1 in the series and ending this series right now.
Well, we knew it was going to be tough here for No Ice coming in as the number 42 seed here in this matchup right now, and obviously going against Going Rogue, who are the number 4. In fact, Going Rogue were able to upset Team Meta Elite literally just last week. So we've seen Going Rogue really pull off some miraculous plays, you know, and some miraculous upsets and wins. And No Ice had a tough matchup ahead of them. They're not out of it just yet, but they're down 0-2 right now, and or 0-3 if you consider them having the advantage. And it's really tough right now for No Ice. They find the 3 down they're looking for against Going Rogue. One more play in Envoy, just waiting here over to the PD side. They're able to find that final kill they were looking for, so really good time on the board now. Hopefully we have some fight in them still.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of fight and a little bit of life and a little bit of power weapons in the hand of Goldstar, but the problem is he's got to make sure to stay alive with these. He does. There it is. 2 down for Going Rogue. No Ice has position on the map. Goldstar goes for that. Oh, I love that band. Look at that purple band. It's so beautiful. The rockets coming up as well. These are very important. But that is a big overextension by Goldstar. He takes so much damage right there. Because of that, he goes down. He decides to take the front angle, Tony. He's exposed to everyone spawning and looking from bottom tram, and that's it. Rockets in the hands of Going Rogue once again, but they do get a hill. That is No Ice, but they're in really bad spot right now due to the fact that the rockets are in the hands of Going Rogue.
Yeah, it's all about timing. It's all about awareness and understanding. With the big double kill by Parzella was going to put No Ice 4 down right there. But it's all about understanding the situation. Like, you have players like myself who tend to take the safer route maybe too much, and maybe sometimes players that overextend a little bit at the wrong time, like you saw that Goldstar. Thought he had the timing to go for that short angle, sadly did not. Ends up losing rockets. Going Rogue using it to put them 4 down, and now look at the time on the board here for Going Rogue. They only need about maybe 25% left in that hill. No Ice, you got to get them out right here, right now.
Yeah, they had the lead on the last hill as well, and No Ice decided to ice up and grab that. But it's going to be tough to do this with not a lot of power weapons on the board, and of course a 3 stack, and there it is. Going Rogue 3-1 versus No Ice. They're gonna send No Ice home. Absolute incredible job. And I'm curious what the trash talk looks like now from either one of these teams. I mean, yeah, you know, for me, when I lose, I got nothing to say. So I think the comms will be quiet.
Or you can be even louder. You gotta double down. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta double down. Going Rogue, able to pull off the 3-1 there, and it was a lot closer than you would think. Like, even in that game number 1, you know, it was a 2-0 for Going Rogue, but we saw how No Ice literally had the game in their hands and sadly weren't able to clench it, and ended up letting it go for Going Rogue to steal that round number 1. Round number 2 a little bit more polished, but even that was like 100-50 in favor of Going Rogue. No Ice went the distance with them in that Slayer. Going Rogue, a very close game 3, and then eventually it almost feel like No Ice almost ran out of steam, especially with the a little bit of technical difficulties that happened, maybe icing them out a little bit, or No Ice, I should say. Eventually Going Rogue come out with the 4-1 win, and Going Rogue advancing forward to round number 9.
Man, this is grueling. Only 2 teams gonna make it to April 1st and 2nd, and you know, that 4K is a big deal, and I really like what you said earlier about the points mattering. I love that. I love that change that, you know, now we're able to see all the top teams have something to play for. It makes it so entertaining to be able to watch all these guys kind of grind it up. I mean, not all of them, you know, stream their scrims, which is understandable, completely understandable, but, you know, with these tournaments, it allows us to watch, which I love, because I like to see how players are improving on new maps and how they're evolving to the meta, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm very excited to see, you know, going forward, you know, how Going Rogue does. I mean, I think they look really solid. I think a lot of these games were very close. So maybe, you know, going forward, they've got to like kind of tighten up just a bit, but overall, really good games.
Well, Going Rogue with that win have the opportunity to play against the winner of Team Meta Proper and Leviathan, and if they win that matchup, they have a chance to go up against Anime Demons, and if they win that one, they advance forward into April 1st and April 2nd. So all they're looking for is 2 wins in order to make it forward, and we come back, we're gonna find out if Going Rogue have it in them to make it to that round number 10. Guys, don't go anywhere.
With a rhythm, we can rock. shadows causing an outbreak. And turning the light, we're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, causing an outbreak. And turning the light, we're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, causing an outbreak. And turning the lights on.
Your HCS 4K qualifier is here. Sorry for the wait, but we have another amazing matchup for you today. It's going to be Lies going up against Need and Org. But before we get there, I'm Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting, and my co-host here is Active. Active, how you feeling so far?
I am feeling good. A lot on the line right here for these two teams. We're going to be watching Need and Org versus Lies, and honestly, Lies is a team definitely impressed me a little bit. Gunplexion is on this roster, and a great player to watch. I'm a very passionate player as well. You know, I love the guy. So we'll see if they're able to make an upset happen here. Of course, going up against the #1 seed and Need and Org.
Yeah, on the side of Lies, you got Gunplexion and Stan Paradigm been teaming together for quite some time now. Kid Nasty and Seven have been a little bit of a duo for quite a bit. And of course, a Need and Org, Straight Sick the Veteran, King J, formerly of Call of Duty, Cherish, formerly of Apex, and Piggy, formerly of Halo 5.
Piggly, I like that. I'm gonna start calling him that more. I like that better than Piggy EX. But here we go. King of the Hill, of course, that hill halfway done already. Of course, the very important part of this hill is you want to make sure to get that C plat control. It's where Cherish is right now. Him going down means that's going to be 2 dead for Need and Org. They just got to take care of Piggy on the back side here. They get this kill. This hill will potentially be opened up, but how much damage he did there is going to cause a little bit of a stall, I would say, in this push. And now they potentially got to reslay again with some scrappy time going on the board.
Yeah, Lies almost done taking that middle hill. I find it funny you say you don't like the name Piggy X. His old name used to be Piggy Saiyan back before Lucid changed his name. And he said his ultimate goal was to play against a Saiyan on the main stage. Piggy Saiyan versus Saiyan, who now goes by Lucid.
That's awesome. A little bit of history there. Something I really respect you for, Tony, knowing all that history of Halo and, you know, just keeping tabs on it. Something else I respect is Lies. Gonna be finishing this first hill, but are they in position for the second one? You generally want to get this hill, and ideally you can get set up for this second one in time for potentially a preventing a push or on a couple of slays. But it looks like Need and Org are gonna be set up in here. And something about this long haul hill as well, it's very difficult to break. You see the standard setup. Cherished is going to be on that top sneaky area. He does have to move and create some space though, because that camo is up. But all the while, halfway through is this hill from Need and Org.
Piggy up high with the commando here, shredding that player over toward the battery side. It's going to be Gunplexion doing everything he can to stay alive, even getting a bit creative with the movement. Eventually, Piggy is able to take down Gunplexion and now quickly changes his attention over towards that hill. You have Cherished trying to break through over toward the gold side. The rest of Lies onto the A side of the map. They should be able to finish out this hill, but it looks like Seven making a last-ditch hero play. Can he take down Piggy?
Potentially does here. That's a big kill and 2 down here for Need and Org. Seven with this camo, unfortunately going to be taken down to no shields. That means his pressure is not going to come out. Good job avoiding those nades though, right? You avoid that remote detonation. And because of that, he gets a kill, going in for the second, but the crossfire does come through. This is a very big next couple of kills here, Tony. Need and Org only need about 1 more tick to secure this hill, but Lies are starting to make a comeback on it.
And mind you guys at home, this is a qualifying matchup that we have here right now. So we're going to find out who's going to be joining the top 12 alongside Mickey and Mags up. It's either going to be Need and Org or Lies. One team moves forward into April 1st. The other team's going home a little bit earlier than expected.
That is devastating right there, Tony. Lies gets another cap. Need and Org needed 1 tick for such a long period of time, and Lies come in, get this set up. They utilize that bait and switch and that perfect teamwork, and because of that, they captured 2 hills. But it's not over just yet. You see King J, he's on that A side. He's got that hill control. And you got a player that is Cherished on needles with his shock rifle. They've got all the angles covered here, and they've got a kill onto Seven as well. So this potentially will go in the favor of Need and Org, and it's just because of their beautiful cross angles.
It was the camouflage and the double push out of Seven and Kid Nasty, which was able to save that second hill. Sadly, the camouflage in the hands of Piggy at the moment and not Lies. So Need and Org put their first hill on the board, but It looks like Lies are almost locked in on their setup here over on the seaside. Stan Paradigm able to take down King J. It looks like Piggy has to trade out his life. So 3 down go Need and Oregon. What does that mean? Lies are already in the hill.
And that's the thing too, I don't think Piggy really needed to go for that melee trade with Camo. I don't know how much time he had left, maybe a matter of about 10 seconds or so, but still that 10 seconds is very valuable as his teammates come off a spawn. He can really pressure with the Camo, but decides to go for that trade instead, and it does not pay off. But Cherish does get in that hill anyway, and Needed Org continue to get this control halfway through his Lies though, and that repulsor gonna be utilized. He didn't even make it to the other platform. That repulsor was perfectly used where he landed right in the middle of both.
Yeah, the distance was perfect. Again, right in the middle there. Well played by Cherish. Obviously played basketball back in the day, but with a shot
Swish.
like that, Stan Paradigm able to take down Straight Sick, and now we're seeing Cherish pushing up forward here. There's 3 members of Lies that are pushing through the long haul side. So excellent damage by Cherish. He's gonna drop off, tries to grapple back on, but just goes a bit too deep, and his tippy toes touch the water. We all know once water touches the spar and tippy toes, that's it. They're done for.
They're done for. Never seen a Spartan swim. Well, how heavy is that armor, Tony? It's like a 2 tons or something. It's heavy. There's no way you're swimming. But here we go. Nice little 2 kills there for Lies. And now they've established some control. Cherish is going to be a nail in the side, though. He needs, a thorn in their side. They really need to take him out. And Piggy's going to distract on the other end as well. So something I'm really noticing is that, Lies gets this set up pretty early, but it's pretty easily broken. But there it is. Gunplexion with the Camo. Gets the first kill. Intelligently backs off. And now he can act on some damage. Gets another one. Gets King J as well. That's 3 down for Need and Org. And potentially a hill on the board for Lies. And their 3rd hill at that. A triple kill for Piggy, though. Takes everything I say and turns it in. Puts it in the trash. Well done by Piggy. What a turnaround. That's a low percentage play right there.
It was a huge double kill by Gunplexion, which is answered right back due to the triple kill by Piggy, but it still Lies that end up with their 3rd hill. So they're going to be the winners on that one because Piggy wasn't able to find the 4th player in that hill. And now moving over toward the Whirlpool side, multiple members of Lies spawning up over there over towards Long Haul. I would imagine they're going to try to get used to that disruptor and get into a power position like the gold side or even the tower side of the map.
Piggy's in a very important spot.
Killing spree.
On this
Double
top A, he
kill.
gets 2. That's a big 2 kills here. He is playing very aggressive with half shields, but he kind of can because he's got the confidence. But Gunplexion gonna melt him little by little. The dot damage is gonna do it. Gunplexion also stays alive as well, and now doing work on that hill. He does that with the disruptor, but unfortunately, it's not gonna matter. It looks like 2 caps on the board now for Need and Org. 3-2. The scoreline. Lies still in the lead.
Really tough to see that pad on the same elevation from the bottom tower side. You really have to get up to top tower and get like a direct angle looking down on the pad. Excellent shots by Complexion. Good try. They were running out of time and eventually Need and Org, excuse me, put their 2nd hill on the board. Still only 1 more needed by Lies. No way they're going to play the time for 3 minutes here. So Lies end up going 3 down. The 4th player is able to make a play. It's a 1v1 between Straight Sick and Stan. He's going to get the double kill and Straight Sick right back in the hill.
Yeah, this is very unorthodox that we're back on the bottom center hill and there's still 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. These teams playing very quickly, making sure to get these hills very quickly, and that objective efficiency is really being showcased here. Straight Sick almost gets assassinated, but luckily for him, he stays alive, and that's gonna net him a killing spree.
I don't know how Kid Nasty just like phased through him like Danny Phantom or something. Just literally ran right through Straight Sick. But luckily Straight Sick and that camouflage able to get the kill necessary. Gunplexion is making his way onto the seaside. Straight Sick runs out of camo, pops a couple shots onto the first one, is able to change targets, taking down Gunplexion, but there's still 2 more flooding in. It's Stan Paradigm and 7. Cherish with the high ground able to take down Cherish. It looks like the 2nd one going to fall as well, and just like that, half of this hill already taken here from Need and Org. Lies still coming off a spawn.
Yeah, so Lies' #1 priority right now is to get this player off of C-Plat. He's going to be a very important player to take out if they want to take control of this hill, but it's a little too late. I believe Need and Org are going to tie this up at 3, but wait a minute, it gets stopped, and now Lies is in the hill. It's a little bit of a fight and a scrappy one down the bottom, but again, Cherish does have that C-plat control. He can play from the high ground, and he does it really well. And now going to maintain control still while he sees the spawns that are coming up on A.
And I'm really starting to wonder if there was a point in time where Lies would have been able to overextend or extend over towards the next hill and rotate out and set up onto this next hill, because we know setting up on the long haul side is a lot easier than setting up over towards the mid hill. Was there any point in time during that hill where Lies should have maybe gave it up a little bit early? Because now you're giving Need an Oregon not only that last hill, but also the early setup of their own. Luckily, Lies able to break through, putting Need an Orc 3 down right as the active camouflage is coming up. So big kills coming out of Lies, and at the end of the day, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face.
That's right. Camo in the hands of Stan. This could be a big camo. You see right there, Lies does have control. I don't like that pre-nade though. A little bit of information giving, but he does get the double kill. Who am I? Triple for Stan Paradigm. Straight stick, the last player alive. They all but got this hill. The spawns were gonna come out onto A, and that triple kill literally just won them the first game of this series. Lies gonna be up 1-0 versus Need an Org, the #1 seed.
The double nade cluster block for the double kill into the triple LVT. Run that back for me. One nade, two nades, that's gonna be 2 kills. The second one coming in for the rotate, able to cut him off due to the beautiful shot with the shock rifle by Gunplexion, and eventually the 4th player goes down. But wow, I don't even think Stan even knew he was gonna connect on both players. He probably knew that both were around that vicinity, but he's like, I was gonna get one. Maybe the second one goes battery side, one shot, but ends up taking both players down. That's a cluster luck.
See, this is the thing, right? I did call that nade was bad just due to the fact that he had camo. Throwing a nade obviously reveals your camo. So in my eyes, throwing that nade early was bad, but the context wasn't there for me. He got comms that Piggy dropped off a bat ledge, went down no shield, so he knew there was a player there, and then there happened to be one more. So a beautiful cluster luck turns it into a triple, wins the game. Beautiful play by Stan.
Well, that's going to be game #1, and it goes to Lies there. Now we're going to find out if Need an Orc can answer back here in game 2. Of course, it's going to be Slayer on Empyrean. 2 sniper rifles, rockets, overshield, drop wall, repulse. God, got a couple ARs on the map. Commando as well. Am I done? Oh, sidekicks, a wet floor sign. Yeah, everything you need, everything you love about Halo Infinite is on the map. Empyrean, first to 50 kills takes the win. 12 minutes on the clock.
Now, there's all that stuff, but there's no cake, Tony. So it's not the best map. If there was cake and we could eat it, then it'd be different. But gosh, I'm hungry. But here we go.
I'm hungry.
Big win by Lies. We'll see if they can convert that, though. Need an Org on their back foot, obviously. You know, you got to come through in this Slayer. We know Empyrean Slayer can be just very difficult, right? If you find yourself in a position where you misplay, your team gets wiped, you're on a spawn trap, it's very difficult to get out of that. It's a very swing game type map combination. Oh, wait a minute. There's sandwiches, Tony. I forgot about that.
Wow. Sandwiches there.
Did I throw you off?
They say you can't have your cake and eat it too, but you can have sandwiches, and I don't even like that saying anyway. So get the rockets, get the overshield, get every single resource on the map, get your cake and eat it too here on Empyrean. And mind you guys at home, once again, this is a qualifying match. One of these 2 teams are going to be moving on to play against the likes of the Phases, the SSG, the Optics, and many more on the April 1st and April 2nd 4K event. Who's it going to be, Lies or Need an Org?
Well, Stan, he's got the rockets in hand. He unfortunately only converts onto 1 kill. He does stay alive, though, out of the line of sight of Cherish, so Cherish is going to be in a position with his sniper to get that very first pick. They don't push up on the aggression. Not enough kills, really, on the board to get map control, so we're still at a 50-50 mark here. Kid Nasty does go down there early, though, so you're going to see some aggression right off the bat. Look at this. Cherish pushes down Log Hall, looking to aggress off of that first kill. They get another one. That's 2 dead now for Lies, and Gunplexion is the last player in their sights, but he's going to be met with Kid Nasty, who's going to work together with him to make sure he doesn't go down.
Gunplexion with the heat wave and sniper rifle combination is gonna lose both, and now we have Piggy dropping down. 7 gonna hunt him down. 7 down to 1 shot, has to do everything can to stay alive here. Cherished getting away with that sniper rifle. Now you're seeing 4 players of Lies over on the tower and sword side of the map.
One thing I'm noticing, honestly, in this game right here is it is tied 8-8, but I'm going to say that Need and Org are doing a better job of not really, I mean, up until that point, it feels like Lies were going down first really quickly. Like they always, you know, one player would always die initially, and Need and Org try to, you know, collapse off of that. But honestly, the teamwork out of Lies really prevents those aggressive pushes from happening. And that's kind of what won them that first game and what's keeping them in this one.
Ooh, sniper rifle in the hands of Kid Nasty, almost able to line up that quickly, able to take down 1 though, and it looks like 3 will fall for Need and Org. Only 1 more player alive. It's going to be King J. Meanwhile, Lies now having the opportunity to get aggressive as Need and Org are spawning up and trying to find their way on the map. Lies are going to get right in their face. Kid Nasty with the sniper rifle being a nuisance on the tower side.
You know, I'm really happy, just to kind of preface this match, I'm really happy for Gunplexion. He's been through a lot in terms of rosters. I know he talked about, you know, just, you know, feeling unwanted and not really, you know, being respected by the skill that he has. And finally, you know, he's been with Stan for a while, but he's finally found 2 other players that kind of work really well around him. And we're seeing that being showcased here. They've got a 2-kill lead right off the bat, but Piggy does get that overshield. So now you're going to have to see some defensive play from this Lies roster, but look at all the angles they have. They're set up on long haul, sword, and top tower, and Stan does get a double, so this is really big. If Piggy doesn't get a kill here, this could be detrimental. He gets 1, but that's gonna be it. Look at the swarm from Lies. That OS is melted.
It is, and 7 gonna be awarded the kill with that OS, I believe. He actually had the kill with the green gun. Not just shredding the shield with the green gun, but even finishing that player off, and now has a sniper rifle because of it. Just barely missing out on that body shot onto King J, and wanted to play that sniper rifle off the map. Doesn't want to give Need and Org any more utility than already needed. They have a small lead, but they know a sniper rifle, rockets, any kind of power weapon in the hands of Need and Org could lead to a comeback.
Kid Nasty is nasty with his sniper rifle. He does a lot of damage right there, but King J is going to be on a beautiful flank, which is going to prevent him from doing any more damage. And this is a big 1v1. So Evan ends up getting the kill onto him. You got to give me a better way to say that name, because I'm struggling at the moment, and it looks like the game is struggling as well, as we will be kicked out there. I believe we might have another observer here. We'll just get back into that momentarily. There it is. Look at that magic. 24-20. Lies is up by 5, and they're continuing to keep this lead, and that's what impresses me the most. They're working off of that momentum and continuing on. If they win this game, this series is going to look ugly for Need and Org.
And now this time it's 7 with that sniper rifle in hands. Piggy, you can tell he wants to push over toward the sword side, but he has a feeling there's multiple players there. I know Gunplexion and Stan Paradigm are over in the sword side, and there's even an extra player or 2 of Lies that are able to watch that angle in case they push in. A 5-kill lead here by Lies. Game starting to slow down just a bit, but in 24 seconds, both of these teams are gonna have to play for these overshields and or the rockets.
I'm really happy though, Tony, because you see the pace of the game slowed on the side of Need and Org. They were kind of maybe patiently waiting for Lies to push in aggressively, but Lies matched the pace of the game, and now it's going to be a fight for, like you said, the overshield and the rockets. Stan, full control of this sword. He's going to get pushed here. He does not have a repulsor. They have it, and that's the problem. When you're holding sword with heat wave, if you don't have that repulsor, a double push is all that's needed, and now Gunplexion is caught off guard. 3 down for Lies. The setup is broken, and now Need and Org is on the hunt.
Sniper rifle in the hands of King J, immediately taking it over toward the tower side. Gonna do a bit of a short lift and not get stuck. Oh, and the headshot onto the sliding Gunplexion. The first kill that Need and Org are looking for. King J not taking any damage whatsoever. 7 trying to catch an angle. I know him and Gunplexion gonna try to break through, but there's multiple members of Need and Org that are watching it. Cherish off the screen, able to get the double kill. It looks like Piggy takes height to take down the 3rd. 3 go down for Lies, and now the spawning players are going to continue to get punished. They are trapped in their bases, Lies.
This is the problem I was talking about. Lies in a very, very bad position right now. They're completely spawn trapped at the moment. They've got to find that first pick on Need an Org. Look at the top left of your screen. There it is. Cherish goes down. Now they're trying to push through. It looks like Lies. They're trying to flip the map. You see the over-aggression through the long haul. 2 players from Lies are on this green box. And King J, his job is to remove them. But he ends up getting taken down to no shields. And 2 kills go on the board. Make that 3. 3 down for Need an Org. And the trade comes out, but that trade's not going to be enough. Lies have some massive numbers right now.
Somewhere out there, Walshy's just rubbing his hands together after that explode by 7. Love that play to put Need an Org 3 down, especially after Lies were on their back foot for so long. Need an Org were controlling those spawns and really in their face for quite a bit. Lies had to break out. They were able to do so, and once again, we're going to go into a stalemate. Sniper rifle now find the hands, and when the game slows down like this, I feel like this is an excellent time to go into the comms. So I would love to hop in the comms of Need an Org. Let's go into a bit of a listening.
Just sitting there, green.
Weapons
He's
in
like
30.
second or something. I don't
Sniping
even
their
know.
S1, bro. Sniping their S1.
Sniping top tower and one's
They're
throwing
sword
sword nades, I think.
Yo, I can walk long haul if you come with me, Corey.
Their sword.
Oh no, let me
I-
stop.
Gun was weak, their sword.
They're long haul with combo and repulse.
They're just baiting us.
Yeah, he's up.
I might need help.
Alright. Rockets though. Trying to help for rocks.
Yo,
They're
green.
still in their tower.
Green, 2 they're green weak. 2 they're green weak.
I'm one shot, I'm
They're
one
gonna
shot.
play for these. They have him, they have him.
He got me. Here's one more rocket in green. Alright, we got OV.
I went sword side. He has rockets on pit.
Both on me. No more.
Three there, three there.
3 needle pit.
I'm sniping there too.
Alright, kill these
One
guys.
shot our green and our plot, guys. Our green one shot. Going long haul.
Our first.
Literally our green
Green,
one shot.
I heard you, Joe.
Yeah,
I'm
first
trying to
week.
come out pit, guys. Help me pit.
I'm here, Joe.
One hit up first. One hit up first.
And green.
I'm Mauler.
Green training. I'm living.
We killed them all.
Green.
Training in green. Last two.
Yeah.
You want training ramp? I'm with you, Piggy.
He's hiding in green, I think. He's hiding in green.
He's
He
gonna
backed
come
I
up.
have nades.
They're green,
I
even.
don't think so.
He backed up.
If he waving sword, guys, we can chill.
Yeah, they're S2 still. They're S2. He's not the sniper. That's not.
Yeah,
the
watch our
sniper.
long.
There's a green gun right
I'm
here.
sorry, weak. I hear you long.
2 guys playing green. I have damage in green.
One shot green. Come.
I'm here, Joey. Go. I'm here.
It's training pit, one shot. Hella weak, guys.
I'm looking training.
One shot their training ramp.
Another
He's on
guy.
the
still
ramp.
here.
Challenge still. He's
Cuts.
challenging
And their cuts.
I know.
They're running through green right now.
I'm gonna get chased.
The
Green
heat wave and sword, dude.
I have over you, Corey.
on me, green on me.
And
And
sword.
on
One hit in green, one hit in green.
Got spawn killed. 2 guys
Got
sword.
sword. Lift it up and you. Tower weak. I know our sword.
He's
I have no
lifted up
ammo.
again, lifted up again.
I literally have no ammo.
long. Dude, our first, guys. Our first. Just walking through. Our needler.
I traded our tower.
Got him.
Oh, so he's on our side. He's in our needler.
Living, Piggy. I'm gonna grab a sniper when I can.
I spawned needler. He backed up.
40-36 lead. Lies still having a 4-kill game, and one thing we noticed from those comms is Need an Org definitely feeling the pressure right now. You can tell they want the win here. They have to find a way to alleviate that pressure from Lies out of their face, but once they're able to do so, maybe they can put 2 together. But the 41st kill now coming on the board, and King Nasty getting naded out over toward that tower side.
Yeah, I mean, one of the plays that really stood out to me was against Stan, right? He's on that training ramp. He's getting called out by multiple players, but isolating and challenging weak. He ends up getting 2 or 3 kills there. This lead is massive. If you're Lies, they're going to slow down the pace of the game. You see the Rockets and OS coming up very shortly there in 5 seconds. Gunplexion taking an off angle with this sniper rifle, but it looks like Need an Org might be in position to get these rocks. Yep, they are. Straight Stick does pick them up. That's 2 kills for Need an Org. Lies are on their back foot right now, but Gunplexion finds one with a sniper. What a beautiful kill. As the last player alive, he picks one off. And because of that, the aggression is going to stop just a bit.
Straight Six still has that rockets in hand, has 1 to work with, and you have Gunplexion just trying to bait out any angle with that sniper rifle. The push coming through long haul. He might have wanted to save that rocket right. That's why it took him so long to shoot it. Eventually, he secures himself the kill, and we're tied up at 43 apiece. King J coming in, knocking somebody off the map. That's gonna be a trade. Straight sick now going after Gunplexion. Too quickly going down for life. Piggy with the sniper rifle. This game is an absolute brawl. Look at all the chaos.
Yeah, Piggy staying alive here is so massive. He's no shields for 2 engagements. That's not what you want to see if you're Lies. You got to take out Piggy. He's got the sniper rifle to work with. He knows the player's in his shotgun. Oh my gosh, the Needler comes out. He's not going to go down. They keep rushing him one by one. It's duck hunt season right now, Tony. Piggy is still alive. 49 to 45. Need an org. Looking to clutch this up.
King J gets the double kill simply by watching his teammates back and eventually stand Paradigm hiding in the corner, praying on hands and knees for an answer to come, and it's not going to. We are tied up at 1 apiece.
How do you stay alive that long? That is mind-boggling to me. Piggy in a situation, we're talking 5 different engagements or 4. I mean, how do you just get rushed one by one by one? The ants go marching in, but Piggy's killing them all.
What a game by Need an Org. When you think of a game going back and forth, like you're just neck and neck almost the entire time, and at one point in time Lies had a bit of control, then Need an Org stole it toward the mid game, then Lies take it right back and all the way down to the end game. It was Need an Org needing to empty the tank, needing to leave it all on the line in order to overcome and take that game number 2. We have a tied up series. A swing game number 3 is ahead of us. That's going to be Aquarius CTF.
That's big for Need an Org, right? They've been struggling just a bit in the previous series, a little bit. The start of this series. That's the answer they needed going into this swing game number 3. Like you mentioned, it's going to be CTF Aquarius. I talked to Lunchbox. In his opinion, this is one of the most competitive game type map combinations we have in the league right now, and I agree with him. You got the thrust to work with. You've got to make sure you take control of that. Of course, the shocks. I mean, if I walk by a shock on card 2 one more time without it being picked up off that minute respawn, I'm gonna freak out. Those shocks are so incredibly strong, so we're gonna be able to see those utilized. Of course, the heat wave, the camo as well. It's all about that top center control. You control that 50% portion of the map, you can really do some massive damage.
Aquarius is definitely one of my favorite maps, and mainly because it's all about those BRs. Obviously, the heat wave and the Needler can come into play here, but those BRs and that thrust is really what controls the map. But it all gets funneled into that center of where the active camouflage is, pulls you out of your base, pulls you out of that side control, and makes you make a high risk, high reward. Can you get the camouflage? Can you stay alive? And of course, capture the flag. You know, the bread and butter of Halo competitive, in my opinion. Straight sick. Able to chase down Kid Nasty. We are going to see a start with this flag here. It's still 2 down for Lies, but the spawning players are getting involved. It looks like Stan and 7 looking to clear out the base here, but Piggy being one of the hardest kills. Finally, Piggy ends up going down. And while all this happens, Straight Sick already has that flag towards the base. Complexion with the back smack refuses to go down. King J finds him. King J gonna relay this flag forward, and that's a 1-0 lead out of Need an Org.
Yeah, that's textbook grade school Halo right there. You get the kills, you pull it towards utility, force the spawns onto Fridge, get the cap, easy, done with, 1-0, Need an Org.
Trades over to the B side here. We're seeing Cherish doing everything he can to stay alive, and meanwhile his teammate in Straight Sick gets a big kill onto 7. Now they stand Paradigm isolated over toward the utility side. He's hiding on the head glitch. Cherish finding out the hard way. Teammate ends up going down, but Cherish finds the kill he's looking for. Couple more of those, and he should be able to aggress forward and get more comfortable in the base of Lies. A new challenger appears in 7, and a new challenger gets taken down in 7.
Great job by Gunplexion, though, hearing that communication. Those kills are massive as that camo's coming up in 2 seconds. Stan Paradigm did have control there, overextended on that kill. I believe that camo was taken by Cherish here, or no, it was taken by 7, I believe. I think it's still there on the top of the planter. I'm not exactly sure. It might have been burnt there, but regardless, no one in control of that camo just yet, but who is in control, is going to be Stan at the top of the map right now. He's got the height advantage on Piggy, who is at bottom P. And again, the teamwork. Oh, there's the camo. They still get it. Lies again, another camo here for them. The very first camo of the game, or I'm sorry, the second one. It's going to be big though. They can really make something happen with this one, and they're set up to do so.
It's crazy to me that Need and Org were able to take down 2 players that had that camouflage in hands, but none of them actually burnt the camo. Almost would have behooved Need and Org to allow them to pop the camo first and then get the kill afterwards, because now you have Kid Nasty willing to just walk it over towards the mid. He is going to be eagle-eyed out by Need and Org, but the rest of Lies able to pick up the kills that they were looking for. Half the members of Need and Org onto that respawn screen. The flag has already made it into the base of Lies and is so close. Ladies and gentlemen, we are tied up at 1 apiece.
And see, that's something I coach all my students on right there. The fact that, you know, he had that camo down bottom center, it ended up running out. He was no shields, but he looked at his kill feed. He saw that 2 kills, Lies ended up getting 2 kills in his favor, so he knew he was free to move that flag. It's all about the information that you take by just being aware of what's going on in the game. And right there, that's why they capped that flag.
Stan able to move that flag all the way over toward the car side here. Kid Nasty and Stan trying to work in tandem, but Stan ends up going down, forcing Kid Nasty to slow down his play just a bit. Piggy forced to wrap over toward the back base, and somehow Gunplexion relaying that flag all the way over towards the Shroom Stairs side. 7 with the big kill onto the bottom P. King J trying to get into the fight, but it might be too little too late. Lies have already had that flag over towards the Shroom Stairs, and Kid Nasty is hitting shots.
That's the thing though, right? They get that flag over to Shroom Stairs, but they know the spawns are coming out on the back flag, so they've got the support, whereas Need and Org, they're going to spawn all the way back at their base. So 2 caps on the board for Lies. That's a scrappy second cap, but it counts. It's 2 on the board, and now they're up.
Yeah, the first cap going in favor of Need and Org. They were looking clean, polished, and coordinated, but Lies answering back with 2 here. 7 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock, so plenty of time for Need and Org to get right back in. And as I say that, Lies do end up falling 3 down. The nades coming in. That's not going to stop Straight Sick from advancing that flag forward. Cherish putting his body in between 7 and the flag carrier. Great job for him to do as max damage as possible, and looks like the final player that's over on the P side goes down. Stan comes in for the challenge, trades out his life, but that shouldn't stop the flag from going in. Just like that, we're tied up once again.
Yeah, and again, that's a situation where you play very desperate. You know that flag is past the 50% portion, so you do everything you can to throw bodies at it. Hope everyone's got that target prioritization, but it didn't work out, and now Need and Org tied up, and they're looking to go for another one based off of these slays, I believe. And honestly, it's looking really solid. They pull the flag with the initial slays on that last cap because of the over-aggression, and they get another one because of it. That's why you can't desperate flags like that. You end up in situations where a double cap is happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that capture coming through the second time for Need and Org, but the fact that Need and Org were able to cap that flag and still get the slays necessary, still pull the flag on him, and cap 2 flags in a row. Lies can't allow themselves to get rolled like that. At some point in time, you have to value your life. You have to be clearing out your base. The counter pull is coming in, but Lies not having the slays comfortable enough to really be able to push that flag forward. Stand off the screen is able to take down Piggy, but there's 2 members of Need and Org flying into the utility side. 7 thrusts right above that player's head. Would have been a nasty little ninja right there, but eventually Need and Org do fall multiple, and Lies are going to be able to move this flag. Maybe we see yet another tie.
Potentially they spawn that back flag area. We'll have to see if that's the case here. It's like that flag will make it through to the utility, but stands in the position to get kills. 2v1 situation. King J, the last player alive, and they let the last player alive get a kill on him, and look how far he tossed that flag out. Gunplexion in a position where he wants to get that return, but he knows he does not have numbers at the moment. So he waits for the help. Here comes the return now. This is great timing out of him. Great patience and discipline. He gets one, gets the return. He's able to rally the troops on that util side. and potentially they get this flag cap in, but there's a lot of just crazy stuff going on, and it's Piggy with that movement getting that flag out once again.
More chaos on screen as Gunflex was able to put damage onto multiple players at the same time, and right as Lies are about to punch that flag right in, Piggy making a last-ditch effort to get that flag out of the base, and now Straight Sick is gonna do the same. The return somehow comes in, and that must be devastating by Lies, because now the counter pull is already moving towards the car side. Now the P side spawners are really being stuck and being dealt with, because King J and Needed Org are watching every single angle. What should have been a cap by Lies might end up being a counter, and now we see a 4-2 lead out of Needed Org.
Incredible job by Needed Org. What they're doing is they're taking advantage of the misplays coming out from Lies. Lies are just overextending a little bit too much, and honestly, it might show the face of the young player, not so much young players, but newer players on the roster that, you know, are just kind of under these situations kind of tense up and don't play the same discipline Halo that they played in the beginning of this game. And right now, that puts them in a position where Needed Org only need one more cap.
The camouflage somehow finding the hands of Lies right now, so this can be huge. Not having the best score line right now, but with this camouflage to make impactful plays still. Straight Sick, the first one to get nade shotted out. It looks like Cherished and King J are getting the information here. They're already addressing out to the utility side. King J going down to one shot. Seven knows that his opportunity is there to pull the flag, but somehow Needed Org are dealing with the pushes from Lies and watching that angle on the flag. Well played by Needed Org. And you know, after a play like that, I want to hop right back in the comms. You wipe them out. You have Cherish coming in. What might be the final flag. Let's go right in, and I want to hear that celebration if they get this captain.
All right, top mid, one shot, Gunny. Absolute Arvent, one shot.
Pete, top middle again.
Yeah, but Arvent.
Argen behind him, Argen.
You can cap, last one,
Yeah, I'm
like
right
bottom mid or something.
Fucking go, bro. Fucking shit. Let's fucking get it, man. Fucking shit. Staying composed in that fucking read, dude. That shit was god tier. Let's fucking
Yeah, that was actually insane. I thought they had that shit easily, I'll be
That
honest.
was a good return.
I thought they had that shit easy, bro.
Yeah, literally.
I didn't even realize you got to toss out. I thought they capped.
Well, no.
You can tell. You can tell that Needed Org are happy with that win, and they're also happy with their performance as well. Just complimenting each other from play after play for the little and big plays that led to them getting that 5-2. Definitely happy with their performance on Aquarius CTF, but their work isn't done just yet. They still need one more game.
And that's such a, you know, we obviously heard the very end of that, you know, that celebration that you talked about, and you know, good call to be able to hear that, because it gives a lot of context to this next game. They're going in with a lot of motivation and just a lot of confidence, right? You know, you heard King J say, oh, I had that, no problem. You know, he got that very clutch return, and, you know, he had to do a lot of work to get that and make that happen. But he just feeling confident, sounding confident. I would have loved to hear the other side as well, just to kind of have the contrast to that and see how they're sounding. Well, unfortunately, we don't have that, but I'm hoping that Lies is still staying positive. You know, it's still possible for them. Obviously, game number 4 coming up next, and right now, you know, they're on their back foot. I mean, they've got to win this game number 4, obviously, or they will be out. And it's streets. You know, a lot of power up and control, a lot of things to control on the map. You listed them all for Empyrean, of course, but streets, you know, much more to work with.
Yeah, I feel like with Lies during that last game, though, I feel like their mental is gonna be really tested going into the streets. You know, that third flag when that was coming in from Lies was so close to coming in, and they were about to tie up that game. Not only do Lies not able to get that cap in, but then the counter pull comes in from Needed Org to put it kind of out of reach of that 4-2, and eventually the 5th flag cap comes in. But to be so close, to be so close that you can taste success and not able to eat it all, not even to get the full meal right there. As a competitor, you know, a former competitor yourself, how do you mentally come back from that? How do you regain? Like it must be devastating to literally be seconds away from tying up the game, and instead losing that cap, getting countered on, ultimately losing the game because of that.
Yeah, you said it yourself. It's very difficult, and this reset is the start of that, right? And I talk about the reset often, just kind of sitting back. I believe one of them is going observer, so they're having a conversation. They're talking about what happened that game, maybe, you know, quickly, not dwelling on that, but quickly talking about it, and then talking about the strategy for this next game. I think you need to look forward and, like you say, and honestly, Tony, I use this quote like every day in my own life: control the controllables. I really do think that's very important. You can't control what happened last game. I mean, that game type map combination is not going to come up again in this series. You got to worry about this right here. You got to worry about oddball on the streets. What can you do? And you know what patterns you see this Need an Org roster making that you can exploit. You know, that's the kind of high level part of it. Do you see things that you can exploit in this roster? Are they playing too aggressively? Do they have a player that flanks a lot? These are the things that you have to kind of download, you know, as you play in this series, and then exploit them in this game where your tournament life is on the line.
Although you can't neglect the past, you also can't harp on it. And I feel like there's a fine line between completely ignoring what just happened in your previous game and just like kind of mentally chalking yourself because of it. So going into oddball streets, like you said, you talked about the sandbox here. And although the sandbox, you might have more of the sandbox being utilized on a map like Empyrean. If you compare like power weapons or even tier 1, tier 2 weapons to like square inch on the map, I think Streets has the most plentiful sandbox that's available to it. And even with the red weapon rack update, it's still strong. You know, the Stalker Rifle and Bulldog combo is still dangerous. Rocket launcher, I mean, I'm not gonna really tell you guys at home how strong rockets are, I don't think so. And now with the introduction of the Shroud screen, you have outplayability, you know, blocking lines of sight, securing power weapons. There's so many different ways that you can use Shroud, not only in oddball, but specifically here on Streets.
I 100% agree. And again, I talked about this before, but one way I would love to see the Shroud screen being utilized is kind of like as a one-way. For those of you that are familiar with Counter-Strike, essentially it's where you place the Shroud screen where you can see the opponent's feet, but they can't see you. I mean, you know, obviously their head is on their shoulders, and if you're blocking their head, but you can see that entire side, you can see the vision there. It just gives a lot of information, allows you to put that initial couple of shots in. I think that, you know, we talked about this yesterday a little bit when we casted Tony. I think that we're seeing the very beginning of the Shroud screen, and I'm very excited to see where teams and players go with this equipment. I think it's a very powerful equipment, and we're not seeing even 20% of what it can be capable of being done.
Well, we're going to see if we can see it at least 30%, if not 40% here in this matchup right here. Again, guys, this is a qualifying matchup. One of these teams are going to be moving on into April 1st to join the likes of the SSG, the Optics, the Phases, the Team Metas, and many more over on April 1st. Only one of them can move forward. And as of right now, it's King J and Need an Org that are one game from doing that over Gunplexion and Lies.
I don't mean to talk about the Shroud screen even more, but what's really cool with it too is you talked about the lack of aim assist, right? When you're in the Shroud screen, something I like to do is you can like half peek the Shroud screen a little bit, get that information, be able to see where it's still, you're still in it, but you can kind of peek out of it a little bit. And again, it's just going to be so interesting to see, but we're in a situation where Lies, they need to come back here, and honestly, after that talk, after that reset, starting off and being 3 dead already is not where you want to be. Not only are you 3 dead, but you just gave Need an Org your complete position on where you're going to spawn, and that's going to be back Tram.
I think it's dangerous of you to assume that them going 3 down wasn't a part of the game plan. You're just making dangerous assumptions here, Tim. Maybe they were trying to die on purpose so they can lure Need an Org into a false sense of security and catch them maybe off guard. Well, as of right now, Piggy and Need an Org definitely not being caught off guard, especially with the rockets in hand. Cherished and that nade not able to stop Kid Nasty from breaking out. Finally, the kill comes in, but 7 rotates that ball over, and according to plan, go for it down, play the ball. Lies are back in it.
They're back in it, but Need an Org get the first kill, and that's the teamwork. What we saw, that's the teamwork we've seen out of this Lies roster. They got to continue to manipulate that, and you see that right there by Gunplexion. It's something that he does you know, in pretty much all of his gunfights, or at least a lot of them, where he slides mid gunfight. It's not, I don't see any other players doing that in the middle of a 1v1 BR fight, sliding to continue to get, you know, presence on that BR fight. But Complexion is, you know, everyone's got their different styles, and that's one thing that he does do. There it is, 2 down for Need and Org. Lies have to take advantage of this with 20 seconds left on those rockets. It's kind of one of those resource management things. Do you send the resources to control this seaside, or do you know, set up for these rockets? And I guess they can do both.
Lies getting some really important kills over towards the end result of that. Eventually, Need and Org going 3 down, and rocket launcher coming up. Obviously, it looks like going to shroud it out. Nade central now, as it looks like Lies aren't in position to grab it. Need and Org should have been able to get that rockets and push up over toward the subway side, force the play ball. Well played by Need and Org to get right back in the fight. I was about to compliment Lies and the kills they got towards the later half that brought them into that setup, but Need and Org answering back, but doing so quickly that Lies barely got the lead. And in fact, Need and Org taking it right back.
Yeah, I feel like Need and Org is really solid at kind of finding the weak points of this setup. Like, you know, Garrett or Tools likes to say the underbelly, you know, you're finding that little weak spot that you can kind of manipulate to stop that setup and to break it wide open. And Need and Org is doing a great job of that. And we're seeing a lot of staggered pushes, Tony. You see that? Like, one player pushes on the C side by himself. He tries to get some damage in. Then another player pushes on B a little bit late. Unfortunately, the timing is just off for this Lies roster, and they're going to need to kind of reset once again to make sure that their timing is the same. And this player, King J, right here on this rail side is going to be a nuisance.
Complexion and Stan able to get back-to-back kills. Stan with that Bulldog ends up going down, so that Bulldog really caught in no man's land as King J. Not only playing his life, trying to do a bit of damage as well, coming right back in for the reach out. That player's already down. King J gets himself a free ball grab, and now the lead continues to grow here for Need and Org, despite the fact they didn't even start with the kills really necessary, but they're still holding on to the subway side.
Yeah, they've got a really nice lock setup right here. The first kill comes out though, and this is what we want to see, right? How is Lies going to break this setup? They've got the first initial kill, which means numbers advantage, but unfortunately, another player goes down on this Lies side. It's going to be Gunplexion, so now they have to back up. But when you're this far up on the map, how do you back up? You really can't, and now you're just pinched by multiple players, and a bad time to die because those rockets are coming up.
69-30 lead. Need and Org have the lead right now. Spiker, especially Spanker, coming up here. Piggy doing everything he can to kind of just stay alive here to the ATM side, using those rockets as bait, and eventually able to get the double kill, and not even gonna look at the rockets. Allows his teammates, trusting in his teammates to grab a hold of that, and beelines it straight towards that ball. Now King J's gonna come in and get max value with these rockets. Kid Nasty having no ideas coming from there, swaps it out for the swaps the empty rockets out for the commando, and that might just be it. I don't know if Lies are even in position to be able to get in towards that hill, especially with Cherish going off with this shotgun. We might see a 1 round in favor of Need and Org, and they'll be 1 round away from knocking Lies out.
Yeah, they're trying to desperate. Gunplexion was the last player in position, but not able to do so. Need and Org's gonna get that very first round, and unfortunately, like I thought, or not unfortunately for Need and Org, but let me talk about that play real quick out of Piggy, right? Piggy was in a position where he had a player on benches that was no shields. Instead of just shooting that player, he shoots the other player a few times, cleans up the benches player, then switches back to the other player that he got weak initially. And that's just due to the callouts that come out, right? You know, that player that you're shooting on bottom B stairs, you're gonna get that call out on him, and they're gonna both turn on you at the same time. So well played by Piggy in that situation.
And my gosh, Need and Org able to get Lies 3 down right there, but you notice as they were pushing up to pressure those spawns, Lies still spawning over toward the PD side, and what started off as a 1v1 turned into a 1v3. Overextending towards to put pressure sometimes is gonna help you out, but sometimes it could cost you a little bit here. Need and Org finding that out the hard way. Lies now moving that ball back toward the A side of the map. Stan watching the PD side. You know somebody's always gonna try to sneak in there, but Need and Org do the best play and send 2 over toward the PD. Straight sick going right after 7, and now what started as a 4v4 is now a 4v2. Kid Nasty, a sneaky play, ends up running right into a perfect kill, and Need and Org just steamrolling Lies.
You want to know what I'm noticing right here out of this Need and Org roster? It's one simple thing. They are not missing. And I think that's one of the big factors in this game. Individually, they are playing on a different level than Lies right now. And that's not what we saw showcased in that very first game, honestly. And we're seeing it right now. Need and Org really starting to step up. That's exactly what you need to have happen. You got to build off of that momentum, and they're doing just that.
They were winning their pairs, time after time, but Lies are very fast at getting right back into the action. And every single time it feels like even when Need and Org put them 2-3 down and put them down staggeredly, somehow Lies are able to somewhat regroup. And you even see them still having the lead right now, even though I feel like the Slays are heavily in favor of Need and Org, especially in this round. So love the response coming in out of Lies, love the shots out of Complexion to defend those Rockets. Don't love the double kill out of Cherish if you're on the side of Lies. And eventually I love the fact that Rockets are finding the hands of Need and Org, who are looking to come back in this round.
These Rockets are going to play a pivotal factor here. And again, when you have Rockets like this and you got both of them and your team has control of this side of the map, you can just play defense with them. And then what that basically means is you get these first 2 initial kills, and there it is. Wait a minute. Wow. They get the kill on them. They both turn them at the same time. They're going to get that trade, but those Rockets are on the floor right now. 7 is going to try and go for this. A beautiful kill there by him, but Cherish has the shotgun, and he's going to put it to work. 4 dead for Lies.
And that ball quickly being scooped up and brought over toward the PD side. You see Kid Nasty gonna play that forward position onto the purple, and somehow Cherish actually knowing, but didn't have the shields to work with to go along with that Bulldog. So the first kill coming in from Lies. We all see them dodging their own spike grenades. I know you like that, Tim. As rocket launcher in the hands of Stan. Somehow Need and Org not able to capitalize on those kills, and in fact Stan and Lies able to get away with the Rockets. That's not good for Need and Org.
It's just that they have to quell this push from the B side. Stan does have the Bulldog as well to work with, but you see they're on this purple side of the map, and honestly, it's very uncomfortable to be on this side. But you see 7, he actually goes and gets C control. Complexion tries to rotate over. Unfortunately, he takes a lot of damage, goes down. 3 down for Lies once again. They try to pull that rotation off, but guess who was on B rail to stop it? It was King J. It's all about that positional advantage, and right now Need and Org doing a better job of taking advantage of that.
But even as Need and Org bring that ball over toward the subway side, somehow multiple members of Lies end up flooding it right off a spawn, and that control and the setup that should be in the hands of Need and Org is just not. It's almost like they're getting the kills, but the timing just isn't on their side right now. And mind you, it's still Lies that have the lead, so Lies really playing a much more scrappier game, but it is 100% working for them. But hard to scrap up ball time when you're about to get rocket in the face. King J has a couple in front of him. Who's he gonna pick? Looks like Stan Paradigm ends up going down. Complexion goes all the way over toward the cafe side, and that Rocket's looking very pucketish.
Yeah, I mean, those choices, though, they add up. I mean, that's the kind of big thing, right? You throw a rocket like that, or a Puckett rocket, shout out to the greatest caster of all time, Puckett, but you throw a rocket out like that, and those mistakes add up, and they add up to, you know, Lies getting 80 seconds now in this round number 2. Around there, they could potentially tie. Complexion gets a stick right there on the B side, holding off an entire squad on his own, and look at him, the finesse to be able to play his life here and be such a nuisance is not allowing Need and Org to push in.
And even though they had the momentum on their side, Need and Org in desperation mode now when it's not going to work out for them. Lies able to tie up these rounds here in a must-win game number 4. You saw the big kill by Complexion over the King J right there. That was a huge kill by Complexion and Lies. And now Lies, 1 round away from forcing us into a game 5. What didn't look possible at the start of that round number 1 or even towards the end, now is looking very possible. Lies played a much better game in round 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, Lies always has really rough starts to their rounds, and I think they kind of have to claw back. Once again, they go, I believe that was 3 down for a moment there, but again, they give the Rockets over to Need and Org. Now they've got a setup once again. They've got Rockets for the defense, and there it is. The first kill is done. The second kill is done, and basically what that means is, oh, wait a minute. It looks like Lies does get 2 kills on the opposing side, but again, those Rockets turn into a stop on the push, and they're allowed to continue to rotate that ball through purple and continue to get time.
despite the fact that Lies with 3 down, Stand Paradigm able to get a huge kill onto the PD side, but Need and Org looked like they were already trying to rotate that ball away from the A side. They got as close as possible towards Subway, and the same way that Lies just momentarily with 3 down, the same thing happens to Need and Org. Straight Sick flying it out of nowhere to get that kill. Lies trying to inch that ball forward into the Subway, and it looks like they're able to do so. Setup not locked in just yet. If Need and Org are fast enough, they should be able to break this before Lies come off a spawn and are able to really lock down every angle.
On top of that, if they push it in time, they can force 7 to spawn out. And that's exactly what they do. But he comes back, gets a kill, gets traded out. Is Kid Nasty, but 2 down for Need and Org with the Rockets coming up here. This rotation comes out from them, and they're going to now go back to the PD side, and now approaching that 40-second mark. I think one of the big things that needs to change here is these rotations need to be stopped by Lies a little bit quicker.
Both of these teams know what's on the line right now. Again, the winner makes it into that April 1st, and the really tough thing is I feel like you almost don't want to lose as bad as you want to win. Like the last thing you want to do is play all day and to fight tooth and nail and to get all the way up to that final round and miss out on making it into the 4K. Like, I feel like, you know, in order to like truly measure success, you have to go through pain, and that would be pain that I just don't want to go through. So at this point, fight hard, leave it all on the line. That's exactly what both these teams are doing. Lies end up going 3 down. Cherish flies in to grab that ball early. Looks like Lies coming off of the cafe spawners, but Straight Sick cutting off that angle immediately, gets the assist onto the first. Looks like he's gonna get the assist onto the second, and with 3 down for Lies and Need and Org really started to claim control, why don't we hop right back into the comms and find out what's leading to this organization, this whole new round number 3 that we didn't see in round 2.
I'm watching the peak routes.
Watch mid, just watch your mid.
Yo, 2 mid, and ATM, they're running at me.
Yeah. Out
Honey piggy.
I'm middle ball. Shot, be real.
Stairs, guys.
One shot in red. They're all red side.
And kill him.
Don't take damage. Don't take damage, Jay.
Nice, Jay. Nice.
Hey,
Good back. Hold your backseat hard. Hold your
See
backseat
with you,
hard.
Jay. They're trying to rotate it out.
And there's rotating.
Trying to rotate it out. Oh, I'm gonna wrap back A then.
I'm with you, Corey.
He's rotating and in B.
On tires, Corey.
Cade.
I'm back
Arcade.
A, live.
He backed up.
PD
I
weak.
got forward. There's
Balls up, so balls up.
Heaven's weak.
Back A,
back
one
A,
shot.
no.
Again.
I don't see arcade, guys.
Top A, I'm
He
in.
left.
Top and back A.
I spawned up. Rockets in 20, guys. Yo, scamming danger, guys. Chalice guy. Nice.
One shot planners,
Someone's damage, Twiggy.
And tires channeling. Nice
Holy
fucking
fuck.
game,
Nice,
PD, holy fuck.
Let's go. Let's go back to
Killed him. There's a red gun down PD.
I hear rock.
They're gonna be B. Only one up.
Trap B, trap B.
Only one up. Only
Playing
one up.
CNA.
Watch my B stairs. Watch my B stairs.
Top shot, Agen. Come
Right on me.
in.
B rail. One shot
I'm
B
just
rail.
looking
Absolute B
to
rail.
their side,
2 B
Look,
rail.
third side.
You're eyes out, Corey. Yo, on ball. On ball. Weak stand. Yeah, 18 stand.
He'll die. No one
Absolute.
Last guy P1.
Hold ball.
I wasted rockets.
I'm trying to block
Wait,
PD.
hold it B, hold it B.
Hold
No,
it
they
B.
spawned on me, dead end. I'm at the
A little chaotic in the comms, but it's
Little bit.
working out for Need and Org as they got the fresh 3 down into the fresh 4 down, and they haven't let go of that ball since. Now it's just 10 more seconds for them to come out on top. Lies are sending everything over towards Subway. Every play on the map. Guns, kitchen sink, nades, everything, and somehow they end up going 3 down. Cherish, though, just a step behind is going to allow Kid Nasty to play that ball. And what should have been a game over was a huge play by Kid Nasty, but you got to follow it up with the kills. And so far, Lies haven't been able to do that. King J dives in for that ball. 97, 98, 99, and that's it. Lies are going home. Need and Org are going to the 4K.
Wow. That play ball could have been ginormous, but they didn't get the spawns necessary. On the other end of things, if they were on A and that play ball happened, there's a potential C spawn that happens and then they can fight for it. But when you spawn on PD or back A, you don't have any eyes to get to that ball. And King J makes a great play to bring ball to the bottom of B stairs and milk the time and trust his teammates. And there it is. What could have been a very extremely close series ends up a 3-1, but we know what we saw, Tony. Very close between these two teams. Lies pulling out all the stops, but Need and Org stepping up when it matters the most.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Lies taking that game number 1 and really setting the tone of the series. Game 2, we saw back and forth the entire time. Lies had the lead about just as much as Lead and Org did on Empyrean Slayer, and we talked about it, you know, on that game 3, which I feel like really kind of solidified the end, where you know, you're down with 2-3 was Lies. You're running that fly again. You're just about to tie it up, and a goal line stand by Lead and Org not only leads to the recub, but leads to the counter pull that goes into a 4-2, and then eventually the 5th cap kind of felt easy. And then after that, I feel like, okay, Lead and Org, they're riding so high that they're gonna be good. They take round number 1 really well. Lies bounce back in round 2, but eventually round 3 belongs to Lead and Org, and they finish it in style, 3-1. Lead and Org moving forward.
Now they're one of the teams going to the 4K. Congratulations to them. A very solid roster, of course. Got Piggy, Cherish, Straight Sick, and King J. All players that absolutely deserve to be here. I mean, all very talented in their own right. We'll see how they do on April 1st, of course, but we've got another matchup here. And a shout out to these players, Arctic, Envor, Tony, and Parzelli. They were actually waiting for us, which is great. That's going to be, of course, Going Rogue. They waited for us to hop in. This is the other qualifier, the other loser semifinals, Tony, and whoever wins this one will also qualify for that tournament.
This is your final match of the tournament here. Mickey, Mags Up, and Lead and Org already advancing forward into the 4K to play against the best of the best that the HCS have to offer. But we need one more team to make a perfect 16-team bracket, and we're gonna find out who it is right now. We saw Going Rogue. We saw them on stream a little bit earlier. They're going up against Anime Demons, who I haven't had the chance of casting just yet, but I know them way back from my Halo 5 days, and I'm really proud to say that these boys are coming out into Halo Infinite and finally finding their own. I used to team with Simply Fear Me myself. Glitchy definitely has been teaming with Simply Fear for quite some time. I think it was him and Carmea for quite some time that were alongside of them. You know, Bullseye, Vampish, 2 newer members to the scene to my knowledge, but Simply Fear Me, you know, back when Carmea was first starting to get into competitive Halo, away from like the clan stuff and started to come into like, you know, 4v4 competition, it was Simply Fear Me that kind of taught him the ropes, taught him how to, you know, control spawns, how to control numbers, how to play his life and get more impactful kills. Simply Fear Me helped Carmea become the player that he is today, and you see him on Shopify Rebellion doing this thing.
Love that. I love the history of all these players. Of course, on the other end of things, Tony Two-Turn and Envor, very, very passionate players, as well as Arctic and Parzelli. I think that passion is a big thing. You gotta be in love with the game and really want to win. You have that competitive drive. Some people are just born with it. I do want to take this time though to let you guys know that everything that I'm doing and Tony's doing and everyone in the back of production, all the admins and the mods and all that, everyone is doing this out of their own time. They're volunteering time to put on a show for you guys, and the way that you guys can support is obviously by watching the ads is one. Using a Twitch Prime sub is another, and that's free as well. We want to take as much money as we can from Jeff Bezos, but another way is to sub yourself. And of course, you don't get ads when you do that, but you also support the crew here, and we really appreciate that. We love Halo, all of us do, and any support that you guys give is amazing. We love you guys, everyone in the chat. You're loved. I love you. Some of you are kind of annoying, but it's okay. I still love you. No, I really appreciate it, guys. And like I said, we all do this out of the love of the game, and appreciate everyone stopping in. But this is going to be a great series, Tony. I'm really excited to see if Going Rogue can play at a higher level. I feel like I haven't seen the best of them yet.
It's funny, when we were on the previous screen, we were looking at the lobby, and I saw a little glimpse of the chat moving forward. It looks like some of you guys know Vampish's alternate tag. They letting him know with the chat.
What is it?
Not for me to say.
Okay, gotcha.
But all I know is that it's Anime Demons going up against Going Rogue. One of these teams going to be advancing forward into April 1st. One of them going to be sent home here. Game number 1. Recharge on King of the Hill. Talk to me a little bit about this game type and map combination.
This is one of my favorite game type map combinations. I really like the idea of the setup. Of course, you know, that very first hill, Tony, it's very important that, you know, that initial camo is important, but taking control of that C plat so that you can control the hill. And then a lot of teams like to send a player towards glass so that essentially you spawn trap all the players at A, and you're able to kind of take that hill. And again, that C plat control is the name of the game. And then there, if you end up getting that C plat control towards the end of the cap, you can rotate towards that long haul side. And that's where, you know, once you have a setup, very difficult to break if you're the opposing team. So again, you know, these are very setup based hills. I love this map. Obviously the shock rifle, we've seen a lot of changes with the ammo. To be honest, Tony, I'd like to ask you a question. You asking me questions all the time. You know, I'm tired of this. All right, it's my turn now. What do you think about the ammo reduction on some of these weapons? Do you feel like it helped the game? Do you feel like it's a good change?
Yeah, it was definitely necessary. You know, I feel like weapons like the Bulldog, the Heat Wave, and the Stalker Rifle just had so much ammo in them that they would just last way too long. Like, I felt like you were almost able to lock down an entire map or entire, like, maybe like 2 or even 3 rounds of hills on one Bulldog or one Stalker Rifle combination. So I think the Red Rack update was definitely really necessary, and the reduction of ammo to go along top of it. I feel like they're still effective on the map. Obviously, you know, you think of a map like, you know, like Streets, where you still have the Stalker available, you still have the Bulldog available, and they're still powerful and impactful, but it's almost like they're impactful in burst as opposed to, you know, being there the entire game for an entire 3, 4, sometimes even 5 minutes before they end up getting off the map.
Thank you for your thoughts, Tony, but here we go. It's game number 1, Anime Demons versus Going Rogue. And right off the bat, you see it's gonna be Anime Demons with the control of the camo and also the first hill as well. You see Glitchy right off the bat going for that C plat control too. They have a player behind them that they got to take out, but a very good start for Anime Demons thus far.
Bullseye in that hill in a bit of a 1v1 against Parzelli, and Parzelli winning that one. The height advantage simply too much. We do see Glitchy just hiding over toward the long haul side, trying to keep that presence onto the C plat side. I'm sure he wants to push up with the teammate, but eventually Envor sniffs him out. Simply Fear Me and Bullseye, though, not letting go. They're still push up over towards long haul. Tony 2 turned. Wants to take this 1v1. It looks like his duo ends up going down, and Bullseye, it looks like Tony 2 turn gonna have to back down and play his life. Well played by Anime Demons to really focus on that C plat control that you talked about before the game.
Yeah, but now the spawns will be forced from the A side, so some defense needs to be played and the cross angles will be had here. Interesting play here to be on this battery side in the middle of the map. Unfortunately, it's gonna get snuffed out, and once again, mispositioning. One of these, you know, these top players are really able to punish you when you misposition like that. I don't think he knew that Tony 2 turn was in his pipes, but ends up getting taken out for it. Envor pushing by himself right there. He does have help from Tony, but he's gonna end up going down. So is Tony. That's gonna be 2 dead for Going Rogue. And C plat control being maintained. And this first hill potentially going in the hands of Anime as long as they get a couple more slays.
And if I'm Going Rogue, I think I'm thinking about punching this hill and maybe moving on to the next one, trying to claim control of that glass or claim control of the C plat. It looks like they're gonna do both at the same time. They're gonna not only push through the hill, but also get that C plat control that we talked about, also get that glass control. So you know what, if you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I'm not mad at that whatsoever. Arctic playing really far up with this camouflage, but that's gonna force the gold side spawners, which looks like that's exactly where Going Rogue want them.
Perfectly said, Tony. He pushes that A spawn, isolates one player, that player all alone because of that. And now they've done a really good job of also quelling the spawns and the push from that gold side as well. And because of that, Going Rogue get this first hill, and they're set up on glass for the next one. This is not good for Anime Demons. They have to break this setup, and it's a difficult one to break.
Going Rogue fighting tooth and nail, but even when things look grim, it looked like Anime Demons were about to take that hill number 1. Going Rogue coming in out of nowhere and absolutely stealing that from them. Now we're seeing Simply Fear Me start to push up here after 3 down for Going Rogue. Tony 2 turn having no other choice but to back down out of that hill, try to play his life, but he's being chased down by demons. My man's being chased down by his demons here. And it looks like once again the boys in blue claiming control of long haul.
It's a big win right here by Vanquish, but Envoy is gonna win out. Oh my goodness gracious, Envoy is gonna win that one out. And because of that, now potentially this opens up the map a bit for him to push through. He ends up getting taken out. His teammate ends up getting taken out. That's gonna be Tony 2-turn, so he's forced to back up, play a little bit defensive, and he still gets a kill on top of that. So a lot of value here coming out of Envoy. The problem is time is ticking. And it looks like Anime Demons, they're looking to finish up this hill. They're stacking on top of it, but will it be to their detriment? Wow. Yes, it will. They all go down. Vampish, the last player in position, he goes down as well. And look, Bulls 2-tac is also caught out of position and goes down as well. This is not good, and Going Rogue are gonna capitalize and take this second hill.
Another last-second push coming from Going Rogue stops Anime Demons once again in their track and stealing not one but two different hills, one towards the mid, one towards the long haul. Parzelli already having presence here over toward the top A side, but he's seemingly by himself. Anime Demons recognize that, so you see players not only pushing by foot, but also flying through the air with the grapple. Anime Demons take control here on the A side, but eventually they go 3 down, and Vampish might be the 4th.
Yes. Tony is a fortune teller. Vampish goes down, but that means that Anime Demons have to wait a little bit to push, but Bulls kind of he's aggressive there. And again, that's 5 seconds with him out of the play because he's no shields. It might not affect them too much, but it is giving Going Rogue a lot of time on this hill thus far. Bulls is going to push once again. His teammate goes down. He still pushes in aggressively there. That's going to be 3 dead for Anime Demons. And now simply Fear Me is going to go in. And just one by one, they're getting melted. And this is where you kind of need that discipline, right? Yes, you are kind of dying in the hill. You know, players are not weak enough for you to really capitalize. So because of that, you're pushing in by yourself. You're going down. And it seems like everyone's going down on this squad. But Bulls, he's going to get a big kill there. And finally, Anime Demons putting some time on the board. This could be their chance to set up and get a little bit of time and possibly their very first hill.
Yeah, on the last 2 hills, it was Anime Demons that really had the lead, and really Going Rogue that had to make a last-ditch effort in order to steal them away. Maybe Anime Demons can do exactly to Going Rogue what Going Rogue has done to them 2 times in a row now. You see them with a lot of progression on this hill. Tony 2-turn able to find a kill onto Simply Fear Me, even challenging literally the curbside right to get into his face, and it looks like that hill was cleared out. Envoy was able to get a hold of camouflage, and once again, Going Rogue, they come in, they get the kills in the clutch time. Anime Demons not gonna find them. Envoy just gonna moonwalk out of there in style, and it looks like Going Rogue have stolen yet another hill. 3-0 here for Going Rogue, and I guess luckily for Anime Demons, this game has been so fast that there's no way that Going Rogue can play the shot clock. They literally have to get in the hill.
They do. No slaying based off of time here. Seeing a lot of pushes from this Anime Demons roster. We saw one on that previous hill, right? You have a player maybe weak, but that player still decides to push with his teammate in a 2-player push. But if you're weak, you got to sit behind. You got to let that full shields player go first. And unfortunately, these pushes are just not working. Going Rogue is snuffing all of them out so quickly. They've got the repulsor to use as well. That repulsor being placed on the platform now, still being utilized so incredibly well, still being valued, and that's what you like to see. Going Rogue on their way to halfway through this 4th and final hill.
Parzelli's Going Rogue, and Anime Demons are going swimming, sending 2 players off the map. They say, mind the gap, watch your step when you're messing around here on Recharge. And so far, Anime Demons, you know, I feel like they're playing faster, getting kills, but you know, on every single play, every single maneuver, everything that Anime Demons have been able to do have not, if not answered right back, have been countered, and they haven't found an answer for Going Rogue. Going Rogue are simply outplaying them right now, and you know, his name is Simply Fear Me, but you know, Going Rogue are simply outplaying him.
That they are. One thing I kind of want to mention here for any of the, you know, newer players or high-level players, whatever, this plasma pistol, the meta now being used as course, Going Rogue take their first game of the series. That plasma pistol is being used to spam now. There's no longer people charging that plasma pistol up. I mean, you see it every once in a while, but the meta now is to spam it to get that damage in and then just clean it up with that single shot on the battle rifle. So, you know, try utilizing that in your games maybe, but Going Rogue, convincing game number 1. Can Anime Demons answer back? This is obviously, I mean, if they've made it this far in the bracket, that is not, by far, that is not their, you know, best play. That is not the best that they can do. So hopefully we'll see that potential reached in game number 2.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely the meta right now. You know, spray that plasma pistol and switch to the BR. But as the kids say, the true Giga Chads will get the kill with the plasma pistol. Forget switching to the
Tony.
BR. I'm just saying, if you were really Master Chief, you know what I'm saying? Like Master, you keep going with the green gun until that player dies. Until I see that plasma pistol on the kill feed, you keep shooting. Empyrean Slayer gonna be game number 2 here. Going Rogue, let's be honest, they absolutely dominated Anime Demons in that game number 1. At no point in time did I feel confident in Anime Demons able to win a single hill. That's how that is how crazy Going Rogue looked. Whether it was the crazy comebacks in the first 2 hills, whether it was the dominant start on that 3rd hill and that 4th hill where Anime Demons was barely present. Hopefully we see much more fight here in Empyrean Slayer. You know, I'm tough on Anime Demons because I know these guys. Like I said, I teamed with Simply Family back in the day. I know what they're capable of, and it is much better than that performance that we saw in game 1.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think that, you know, what you had said, I think that those first 2 hills were very close. And I think losing out on them was a mental blow, right? And I think it kind of spiraled and snowballed into, you know, that 4-0 score line. But, you know, it's time to recover at this point. But can you recover versus the passionate team of Going Rogue? I mean, like I said, 2 of the most passionate players in the league, in my opinion, On4 and Tony. I mean, it's going to be tough, especially when they have that momentum going. They're feeling good, feeling confident. I mean, this is going to be a tall task for Anime Demons. But like I said, we've seen much better out of this squad. We've seen much better out of the players on this squad. We've just got to see that potential being touched at least.
I feel like Empyrean, even though it's growing on me as far as playing wise, I really have almost like Argyle. I hate playing Argyle, to be honest with you, but I've been really enjoying watching the pros and the much better players play Argyle in a much more organized fashion. I feel like Empyrean is kind of the same thing, and it's not really fun playing as a solo player going into ranked, but watching the coordination and watching, you know, a full team of 4, especially at a high level, go up against another one, you really see the magic within this map, and it's exciting, it's punishing. You have the stalemates, you have the crazy power weapons like the snipers and the rockets and everything that you would want to see. I've been really enjoying watching Empyrean play at the top level. Hopefully Anime Demons can answer back here. Last thing you want to do is fall 0-2 here in the series, especially when you are 1 series away from making it into the big leagues, making it into that 4K on April 1st.
The weapons are in the hands to do so. That was a really risky rocket, but he hits it around the pillar. That thing almost bended on my screen, but it works out. Those rockets are traded, though, for this overshield in the hands of... Okay, well, never mind. That overshield is gone in the hands of On4. Not really much value gotten out of that one, but he does have the snipe. He's going to be trying to utilize this to take control of the sword, along with Arctic, who has the heat wave. All the weapons in the hands of Going Rogue.
I don't know how Archer was able to stay alive over toward the sword side, but I'm loving it because of that, you have a bit of a 4v2. Finally, Bullseye able to take down Parzelli. Looks like Simply Fear Me follows it up by going right after Envoy here. So Anime Demons looking to slow down Going Rogue, looking to weather the storm. Arctic with the heat wave in hands. He has some help over toward the sword side, but I feel like he wants to get up top. Actually, it's not help. It's actually Glitchy on the total opposite team. Never mind. That is not your friend. Stay away.
That's not your friend. Run. Dampish pushing in, taking a lot of damage. Wasn't aware of the angles there, so ends up going down really quickly. And like I always tell everybody, you never want to be the first one to go down especially if there's no damage being done, right, Tony? We have those entry fraggers that go in, do a ton of damage, and then your team's able to clean it up. But when you're going in and you just end up dying without, you know, putting much value in, it becomes very tough. Another push comes through. Tony ends up going down here, but that push is completely snuffed once again. Going Rogue doing a great job of playing defense on their side.
Arctic firing off a couple of warning shots, then gonna pull out the assault rifle. I keep telling y'all at home that the assault rifle is the best gun in rank, but y'all don't want to believe me. Arctic, tell him real quick. He knows. Perfect shots with the BR. That's kind of boring. Onto Bulls, gets himself a killing spree. There we go. That's what I want to see. There,
oh yeah, best weapon in the game, huh?
I mean, it's Vanquish. You know, he sucked the life out of him right there. I know what you want me to do. He's scary, if you will.
Oh, different gamer tag, same play style. Got it. All right, here we go. Rockets are coming up here shortly. A lot of damage being done, but Tony has to kind of play a little bit slow. He's got a lot of players on both sides. The Rockets go into Tony's hand. That's going to be a big kill. 2 down for Anime Demons. Potentially, they can act off of this, but... Did you see that delay on the rocket, Tony? The repulsor, he waits for him to use it. He uses it preemptively, then shoots the rocket. That's 200 IQ.
I've been telling people that the meta was going to change here on Imperium because it really is easy to anticipate when someone's going to shoot a rocket. It comes so fast. Once they look at you, just repulse, and that rocket's going to go right back at them. And I kept telling people, like, it's going to change where if you see somebody with that repulse, you're going to hesitate, delay your shot a little bit. And we're starting to see that week after week. And everybody called me crazy. Like, no, when you see somebody, you fire a rocket. I'm like, no, trust me, it's gonna change just a little bit. And we're starting to see that again week after week as Simply Fury finally able to make it up to the tower.
It's really funny sometimes when players get stuck in there. I was playing matchmaking with Gilk and he got stuck. I had to push him out with a melee. I spent like an hour doing that, but we finally got him out of there. 21-24. Nice little lead here for Going Rogue, but the triple lift, I mean, that's crazy. That's such a good play right there, right? They send 3 up top. One ends up going down, but they do get that initial kill. They get another one onto Envor. They've got to still slay through this, though. They won't really have control just yet, but finally, another kill on the board. But again, 3 down, and you're seeing Going Rogue, Tony. They're playing a lot of defense here, and honestly, it's really solid defense. They're on their side. They've got the power weapons, and they're just kind of sitting pretty.
Yeah, just when I thought with Anime Demons getting the kills that they're looking for, I look at the scoreboard and somehow they still end up 3 down. Somehow Tony Two-Turn still ends up with that sniper rifle, and somehow Anime Demons are in trouble once again. We're back up to a 5-kill lead going into the mid game, and what do they say? Slayers don't really start until the 30-kill mark. Well, one of these teams have already hit that.
Yeah, really great drop by Simply Fury, though, as the snipe comes out from Tony. He's gonna get pushed here and killed, which is a good job by Glitchy to take advantage of that damage being done. Unfortunately, though, he is gonna go down. Arctic with some beautiful kills there, but Simply Fury 10-7 in this game. But look at Arctic, 16-8. And his team has 35. That is an absolute insane KD on Arctic.
I mean, I would like to see him with more than 1 assist, but maybe that's just me being a little picky. I guess when you're slaying like this, you're allowed to have only 2 assists. 17 of his team's 38 kills, almost half of the kills have come out of Arctic so far, who's been absolutely going off and putting damage on multiple players. Look how he backs Glitchy and Bulls into a corner for Parzelli to just put down that damage and knock them down. Somehow, Glitchy was able to stay alive, but I feel like he was only delaying the inevitable. Eventually, he's hunted down. A 10-kill lead here for Going Rogue, and they only need 8 more to go up 2-0 in the series.
It's kind of crazy. Like, what do you do when you're being force spawned into flag? You got a guy in your shotgun, a guy in your top turret. Finally, Enemy Demons does make it through. They're trying to flip the map. They got 2 players over there to worry about, though, and the Repulse comes out. He stays alive, and he throws a nade. That was a beautiful nade. But unfortunately, I mean, I'm really hyped about that because that was sick, but 33-44, we've still got a lot of work to do. And hopping on board with Tony, he's got the sniper, simply gets a double kill in your kill feed at the bottom left of the screen. But still, so much more to do, and only 5 kills left for Going Rogue. It's going to be extremely difficult for this comeback to happen.
Yeah, Anime Demons needing about a dozen more plays like that before going rogue, able to put 4 kills on the board. Sadly, it is not gonna happen. Tony 2-turn 2, Fluent 2-turn with this sniper rifle as he body shots 1, finishes him off with the BR. Envor and Parzelli off a screen, getting back-to-back kills. Arctic gonna finish off that game, and a 50-35 win for Going Rogue. They're now 1 game away from advancing forward into the 4K on April.
Yeah, Going Rogue is just picking apart, the offense there. I mean, I really do think the Anime Demons were kind of pushing into a full setup over and over again from their side of the base, and then of course being spawn trapped for a couple of slays there as well. Nothing going their way at this point in time, and it's unfortunate because like players like Simply Fear Me, I think are incredible players. Glitchy as well. I mean, I don't know too much about Bulls or Vampish or Scary Vampish, but I still do think that this squad has a lot of talent on it. It's just that unfortunately they're not really able to work together. I feel like the chemistry is really off. They're not making pushes together like you can see there. They're kind of like going towards training. There's a player in their sword. The communication's not there maybe, but regardless, we can't take anything away. Maybe it's just a case of Going Rogue playing phenomenal Halo, and that just might be it.
Yeah, I feel like Going Rogue stock was really starting to rise back at the I think it was last week, where they were upsetting team after team, including a big win on Team Meta Elite. It was on that Sunday where the winner was able to advance into the top 12 on Thursday, and he literally upset Team Meta Elite as like the number 22 seed going against the number 9. It was really that good. They're really starting to become the team that I thought they were, like in the preseason. I've always been really high on Envor and Tony 2-turn teaming together. Obviously, Arctic is absolutely killing it, and Parzelli is so much better than people give him credit for, even as a Halo player, not even just as a Call of Duty player. I'm really excited to see Going Rogue start to come into their own, and Anime Demons just happen to be a little bit of a speed bump here. You slowed them down into making it to the 4K, but you ain't stopping them.
That's absolutely right. That speed bump is one that you have to go 2 miles per hour over because it is large. Let me tell you, they've got a lot of work to do here if they want to bring this series back. It's not impossible. It's going to take not going down 3 down right off the bat there.
Is that not good?
That's not good, Tony, because the spawns will be forced onto Fridge. They'll pull utility. You know how it goes. Fundamental Halo. And now the overextensions need to happen. But oh my goodness, wait a minute, dude. 2 players get through. I believe that was a card 2 spawn. Maybe it wasn't blocked there. They get through, and they get 3 down for Going Rogue. This is what they need. This could be the momentum. That flag does come out. It's going down bottom center, which I don't like very much. But wait a minute. Arctic with a huge flank there. Not able to really get too much, but Parzelli's able to clean up the pieces. Both flags are out, but some slays have to go down. 2 down for Going Rogue. They've got to get more.
Arctic and Going Rogue able to get that back smack that really slowed down Anime Demons in a situation where timing was everything, and Arctic continues to get the kills necessary, but has to make a play both on the kill onto Vampish and pull the flag at the same time. A really tough scenario for him to be on. Luckily, Going Rogue still pushing up. They still stop that flag from going forward. Anime Demons find themselves 3 down. The ping and information is coming in. They're going to go in for round 2, and this time probably not going to block the favorable spawn.
Vampish going to get that return here, but not in a position to really act on the 3 dead that they had. Unfortunately, he's going to push into 3 different players here. Ends up backing off, which is a good play, but him keeping this car control is very, very important. Got to make sure that we don't go down. Great shots onto Envor. Takes him out with a back smack, but ends up going down. 3 down for Anime Demons, and now Tony on the aggression. Smells blood in the water, but Glitchy, what a beautiful kill right there to stop that push.
I'm ready to stop calling Tony. I thought you were talking about me, and
Sorry, Tony.
I'm really confused right there. Glitchy.
He's the good Tony.
Oh yeah, very, very true. I almost beat him in Octagon. I'm just saying. I almost beat him in a 1v1 Octagon. Heat wave in the hands of Arctic. making sure this base is cleared out. There is one player to deal with, and that's going to be Vampish. Right down to one shot he goes, but gets the kill necessary. That's going to start yet another pull right over toward the mid. Onto the car side, does a bit of damage onto Bulls. Glitchy now going to try to pull in for the return, but one more kill could lead to a relay by going rogue.
Yeah, but it plays like that from Tony. I mean, the movement, staying alive, being a nuisance, coming out, doing damage once again. It's plays like that. Again, you talk about this all the time, and I do as well, because it's very important. Stats or plays that don't show up on the stat sheet really just can turn the tide of a game. And right there, that play, he didn't get any kills. I don't even think he got any assists, but he stayed alive. He put one shot into like 3 different players, and because of that, they get their first cap. But 3 down for going rogue. This could be a chance for Anime Demons to answer back.
Yeah, I feel like Anime Demons don't have the timing right now to pull a flag, but they do have the ability to push up and to get onto their offense, maybe get a secondary round of slays. But it looks like the defense never exactly converts, and going rogue feel a lot more confident just sprinting across the middle of the map, knowing that they can probably win almost any individual gunfight, win almost every team gunfight. Going rogue are just kind of like doing whatever they want on the map. Anime Demons really not watching every angle, and really just allowing going rogue to set the pace.
You're absolutely right, Tony. We're seeing the pace being set here. You're letting Tony into your base. You end up getting a couple kills, and now a flag's being pulled. Simply Fear Me goes bottom middle. He gets a beatdown somehow. That was beautiful, but he's going to get cleaned up by Arctic. It's now a 2v2 situation. The flag was stopped, but those shocks are up. Arctic decides not to go for them. Oh my goodness. There it is. The drama, the body shots. Let's have it.
A 1-0 lead in favor going rogue right now, looking to sweep Anime Demons here at the moment. Anime Demons aren't finding kill after kill. Glitchy able to take down one Simply Fear Me, going right after Parzelli. You see the 2 players coming right off of Fridge. Simply Fear Me a bit late on the pole, but it's still gonna make it towards utility. Glitchy still watching his back. He's actually gonna bring it up high over toward the car 3 side and still not be touched. Nobody for going rogue in position to stop this flag from going in. So it looks like just like that, tied up at 1 apiece. Although going rogue, the eyeball test have been saying that they've had complete control. You would imagine this being like a 3-1 scoreline right now. It's still tied up, but Tony 2 turn starting yet another pull for going rogue.
Yeah, there's a play that I want to talk about though, right? I believe it was Glitchy. I'm not exactly, I don't remember, I'm sorry, but basically a player, you know, he's on the top center of the map. He sees a player advancing towards bottom center. Instead of, you know, just getting a couple shots in him like you would do, Tony, in a game, getting a couple shots in him, then backing off and watching a different lane, he challenges fully, ends up going down, and that's why the counter cap ends up happening. 2-1 now for going rogue, and it's just based off the fact that too many go down for Anime Demons to get that cap in.
Very chaotic game right now, very scrappy. Like it's very like, you know, dive into a 1v1 gunfight, you know, either win or lose. You know, if you win it, move forward. If you don't, you know, come off a respawn. It's a lot less coordination that I want to see at this level of competition, but you know, hey, I like a little scrappiness as well. Envor able to get away with that camouflage. Back smack easy onto Glitchy. 2 more members of Anime Demons, the last 2 on the utility side. Envor gonna trust his teammates to maybe get some pressure in while he pushes forward. As the slays go in favor of Anime Demons, he gets right back involved. It may be 2-on-2 right now, but going rogue, the first ones to spawn, that are spawning up, and Envor's already in the base. A couple whip shots as Vampish is gonna be able to stay alive, and Envor might end up going down because of it.
Yeah, no more camo though, and he does get a lot of value out of that camo, but that initial kill could be what they need. But look at the Arctic is so good at flanking this Anime Demon squad. 4 down once again. The spawns will come out on the Fridge and P1 side, and now all they have to do is stop that push, and they do. They stop the very first player in the train, trying to stop the second. That's going to be Simply Fear Me, but that 3rd cap will go in. And just a show of just pure discipline from this squad to be able to get those kills and pull that flag in once again. 3-1 is the score line, and they're looking to go for a double cap right here, Tony, but it might be a little too much. They might have bit off more than they could chew.
Yeah, I mean, going rogue, we're 3 down. Arctic did get it pretty far, considering the fact that they were 3 down, but eventually it's like, what's the follow-up plan after you go down? Eventually, you know, something has to happen, and nobody in position to really pick up. So, Simply Fear Me and Anime Demons might have gotten a free counter cap because of it. Parzelli somehow getting the wingman assist, not quite able to get the kill, but nobody Anime Demons able to relay this flag forward. So, Parzelli return, almost able to get it. Will the timer go down? Can Anime Demons get the touch? It looks like Envor runs right through it, pulls that flag forward. Another 2v2, make it a 2v1. Envor finds himself a big kill, and now is going in for more.
That was heartbreaking right there. Going rogue makes a massive mistake there, overextending for that kill. Envor
Reversal.
letting him know what's up. He does this to me in matchmaking too. I don't know why, but he just likes it. But 4-1, Going Rogue have an incredible lead right here in the last game of this series, the last game that they need to win in order to qualify for this 4K tournament on April 1st, and doing a great job of that. Tony 2 turned 25, 11, and 12 in this game thus far.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think Envor or Tony Tutor are any strangers in trash talking. Probably 2 of the best around in the league. And something tells me that Arctic can talk his trash as well, although I haven't been able to hear it much from him. Eventually, though, Going Rogue end up going 4 down, and, you know, you don't want that confidence to turn to cockiness, you know. You don't want to turn into overconfidence, because Anime Demons are still in it. 2.5 minutes is enough time for miracles to happen here. Vampish looking to grab that flag and bring it over toward the mid side. Glitchy able to take down the 3rd, almost able to take the 4th with the melee. The nade is gonna take down Glitchy, but Bulls able to pull that flag forward all the way over towards the base, and just like that, Anime Demons put their 2nd flag cap on the board.
I know for me, when I get my body beat down in matchmaking, I sit up and I start to focus. Maybe that's what's going on here. We'll see if it's enough.
Perfect.
Unfortunately, Anime Demons though go 2 down, and that means a potential flag pull here for Envor, but Simply Fear Me is also pulling his own flag. The shock grenades come out. A lot of damage onto Envor, but they're gonna need much more damage as there's still 4 players alive for this Going Rogue roster, and Vampish is the first to go down.
Going Rogue only needing 1 more cap to end it here. Simply Fear Me relaying that flag forward, but he still has to get the kill and ends up sliding right under Parzelli, giving him kind of an easy double kill. Wasn't quite able to see him through that active camouflage. Parzelli with the cross map shots. Time eventually running out for Anime Demons, and it's gonna be Going Rogue that pull off the 3-0 sweep, and they're gonna be going into the 4K. We now have our 4 players, or 4 teams, excuse me. Going Rogue, Mags Up, Lead and Org, and Team Mickey are going to make a full 16-team bracket.
Very interested to see, again, another congratulations to Going Rogue, but I'm very interested to see this Team Mickey. I haven't heard of any of the players on this roster, you know, very new to them, so really congratulations to them for making it on into that tournament here, and of course the congratulations once again to Going Rogue. Anime Demons back to the drawing board they go. Hopefully they can, you know, get their potential together. I truly think that, you know, you constantly search for these rosters that, you know, work with you, and you know, for any professional player that's gone through roster changes, you know that there's that one roster out there that you gel really well with inside and outside of the game. And my question is, has Anime Demons found that roster, or will there be changes? And they're gonna have to figure that out really soon. But Going Rogue, a convincing 3-0, and they move on.
Yeah, we were high on Going Rogue. I was high on Going Rogue to begin with, you know, in the preseason, and like I said, it took them a little bit to kind of get the roster finalized and get into fighting form, but I feel like their stock is going up and up right now. A big 3-0 against a very capable Anime Demons puts them into some, you know, excellent group, or an excellent team. You know, you're looking at, you know, Optic, Space Station, FaZe, Native White, G1, Native Red, Rebellion, Sentinels, Avengers, Proton, Team Meta, and Cloud9. And again, joining them is going to be Going Rogue, Lead and Org, Mags Up, and Team Mickey. Those are the 16 teams that are going to be competing in the 4K. Money, points, all going to be important, especially when it comes to seeding leading into these HCS events. Going Rogue put themselves amongst great company.
Wow, I mean, that's a stacked tournament right there. I wouldn't want to be a part of that one, Tony. I know you always say we should make a team. Not this time. All right, I got to sit on the bench for this one. That is, I'm going to cast this one. That is it. That is a lot of great teams right there. So definitely for the teams that made it tonight, they've got a big road ahead of them and a lot of preparation needs to be had. So hopefully they take this time and take it seriously, because not a lot of time till April 1st. You got to get in that VOD review, got to take the game seriously and improve the mistakes that you've made in this tournament. This will be great footage to watch.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming in and making some noise in the chat. This was an amazing open series event. We saw some very hungry players and probably some newer faces that you guys normally see with the top 12 teams not allowed to compete today. You know, some other names really got to shine and maybe made some fans. You know, if you guys are fans, like for example, Going Rogue, you know, Envoy streaming all the time. You know, there's other teams out there, you know, besides, you know, the Lucis, the Formals. So I'm really happy that other teams really got a chance to shine that maybe didn't have that spotlight before. Before we close, Tim, do you have any final words for the people at home?
I mean, just once again, I'm pretty simple. Thank you to everyone that's watching this stream and supporting LVT in general. You know, LVT is a great platform that, of course, gets these opens out and lets you guys watch them. A great production team in the back, admins that spend volunteer time doing this so that we can have this type of stuff to watch. And as Halo fans, if you're like me, and I know a lot of you are, Halo's the only game that really you like, right? So, you know, having these to watch is very good for the scene. And again, a shout out to you, Tony. Always a great pleasure casting with you. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, and I'm going to echo that. You know, thank you so much to the LBT team for allowing me a platform to do what I love doing. It was always a pleasure working with you, Tim. The Face It admins, you guys in the chat, the competitors who absolutely put on a great show. And don't forget to smash that follow button. Don't forget to leave the notification bell turned on, because on April 1st, when we go live again, you're not going to want to miss any of the action. You have the 16 of the best teams in the world. No disrespect to anybody else, but 16 of the best teams in the world duking it out. You're going to want to be there from round number 1. We'll see you guys later.